what horrific thing can I subject the lot of you to stall, besides a clunky recap? Because I'll be honest, I don't remember much of what happened.
It's been a while.
We saved our brother.
Oh, that's right. The one time I was planned and prepped and prepared for murder hobo. Our lovely players decide, you know what? This is the guy that needs the redemption arc.
I mean, Jazzy was ready to cut off his arm.
Jazzy is a sexy bitch.
It's the extra jointed legs, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. See, you know the lore.
It adds
For
to
me,
those
it's
thick
the
thighs.
ever-changing accent. That really does it for me.
Are you cyberbullying my dumey?
Today, yeah.
Okay. Well, today, yeah. Because it's different than any other day.
I am not a cyberbully to do me any other day, but today.
This is a fib.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I have video recorded evidence to prove that is false on a not insignificant number of Sundays.
I mean,
That's characters. That's different.
Chris, I love you, assuming that's you.
I would hope so.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, we stalled long enough. But yes, after potentially too much derailment, yes, our lovely band opted, having come back from their foresty adventure, having spoken to the captain, getting more information, especially from Mab and Una, and learning more a little bit about the town that they're in. Heading back, Mab and Una had discovered that the bartender was actually one of their brothers sent to originally retrieve them, but instead had opted to partake in some more nefarious plottings, shall we say. And in a bout of potentially uncharacteristic heroism, our merry band opted, instead of killing him, to save him to where he can now attempt to gain redemption.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joe Cat.
I know you're waiting for it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're welcome.
I couldn't have possibly ever predicted that you, of all people, would have that as a quick access sound clip.
Inspired.
Every time I look in the morning and I see my own face.
We have no regrets.
But yes. Having been told that the children that our merry band is expecting to meet are expecting their arrival that night, Orion had opted to stay behind, much to potentially Una's protestations. But, you know, after having a sword wrenched out of his arm, not unduly, I might add.
He'd be a
He's not entirely bleeding out. Just kinda.
I healed him. I patched him up.
Yes, you did. But yes, Orion has opted to stay behind, letting you meet up with the family tonight, as the captain had told you they were coming. You had all... I don't think you guys had decided if you were going to wait inside the inn or outside, but I know we had gotten to the point where you were getting ready to go to meet them.
Well, Doc had just asked a very important question.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Ah,
Yep.
yes. I remember the extraordinarily important question that Doc had asked. Thank you so much for reminding me of that, Chris. I so very much appreciate it.
Hey, don't
No.
thank me. Doc's the one that asked.
Exactly. Fine, I'll be nice to Dumey. At least for today.
To be authentic to the stream, we really need to pick up where we left off.
Yeah. Tell us more about this this cake or kake.
we'll go ahead and spare our lovely audience any too many undue graphic descriptions of what this could potentially have included, and we will pick our story back up with our merry band outside.
After Doctor had a very nice facial. I got your back, Doc.
Una is now sitting in the fire, so
Yes,
I was
that is
just-
Doc.
I was gonna have people sitting around the fire, but Una's entirely in the fire for some reason, some unknown reason. But yes, the four of you are seated around the fire. Just like the first day you came in, there are baskets that have some food that can be cooked over the fire. There are dried rations, and you occasionally see a few people meandering about. Guards mostly on their patrols. But more than anything else, the night is quiet. The air is cold. Around the fire is warm. You're all far enough away from the fire to be comfortable without feeling like you have to adjust, because I don't torture my players with that specific notion of making them constantly refine the comfy position around a fire.
I pick up a snowball and I throw it at Una.
Una, you have now had a throwball snown at you.
Throwball.
Throwball!
Throwball fight.
Throwball snow at you.
I'm occasionally known to get my merds wixed, thank you. But yeah, so what are you guys doing around the fire? Are you talking about anything? Are you guys preparing anything? What is the general atmosphere?
I throw another snowball at Jazzy.
I'm gonna attempt to catch it.
All right. Should we consult the tomato chart for what I should have you roll?
I would assume a dex save if I was.
Yes. Yes, go ahead and give me dex, please.
It's a constitution saving throw, actually.
It's a wisdom check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're able to catch it pretty easily. I'm assuming, Mab, that you didn't full-on wing it right at Jazzy.
That's
No,
quite an
Matt-
assumption.
Mab can't, Mab's a noob.
You know, I'm not really sure why you all didn't let me take off his arm. He did try to kill you.
Do you guys really need me here for this? Una asks.
I hurl the snowball that I've caught at Una.
And Una attempt to dodge
Yes.
and probably fail miserably.
Go ahead and give me a dex save, Una.
Oh, well, rest in peace, me. Wait, no. Was that a save? That was.
Should have stuck with the check.
Downhill.
Yeah, the
They were
snowball.
both misses. Like,
They were both misses, but one is worse than the other.
barely.
Hey, 3 points can be the difference between a save and a fail.
Not
True.
from 3 to 6, it can't, I don't think.
Hey, if it had been a 5, you would have been fine. It wasn't, so you get hit in the face with a snowball.
As Una's hit, Jazzy continues her statement. You need to be taking this more seriously. I don't think that our turtley friend here could have taken seeing someone kill one of our friends.
Nope.
Okay, but seriously, guys, do you really need me for this?
What, you're going to dip out on us now, Una?
I'd rather
You
just
go
stay in.
see... For what? You'd rather support the brother that tried to kill us than support the sibling that needs you now.
You need me to talk to a random family?
Yes. Because what if something happens while we're there? Nobody comes back and you're all alone, Una.
I'm not worried about that.
Gee, thank you.
I can take care
So
of myself.
glad. We work well when we need to transpire messages without other people knowing, Una.
I just don't know why all four of us need to be here for this.
Jazzy
Because
gets up and-
some things happened to where guards can be caught and shoved in dungeons.
Yes, I get that, but this is simple information gathering. Surely we don't need all four of us here for that.
Una, why are you being so troublesome right now?
I'm not trying to be, I just don't understand why we all need to be here.
That's
I'm finding your need to stay behind quite odd. Usually you're very up in the mix.
Usually I haven't had headaches all day that have made me like scream and fall unconscious.
Oh my god, get over it, Una.
Quick random question for absolutely no important reason at all. What's everybody's constitution modifiers?
For no reason, huh?
for no reason.
Absolutely no reason at all.
Once again, can I go back to the end?
2.
That'd be a whopping 0.
1. Gargoyle,
I'll
say
let
something
you
big,
know
say something
in a
big, say a big
sec.
number. Lie to me.
3.
Hey.
Trace.
Okay.
Y'all still ain't answered my question.
Nor mine.
What was your question, Jazzy?
Why wouldn't you let me take off his arm? You know, the arm he tried to kill you with?
Because it would upset Doc.
I feel like what he said came from a place of anger, and I don't think it would have helped the situation.
Doc, that's exactly the type of talking that got me overboard on a ship.
And look at where you are now. You're saving the world.
Look at where
Who
I
can
am
say
now.
they're literally saving the world?
One kobold cocky at a time.
Doc again looks inquisitively, raises his hand, and is about to speak, and then just looks
Reaches-
down and chooses not to.
Reaches over and takes the hand and pulls it back down.
I need everybody to make a scent-based perception check.
Scent-based.
Correct.
A scent-based perception check.
Correct.
Nose holes is clogged.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jazzy and Una, you're the first ones to smell it, and then Doc a minute later, and then lastly Mab. But you all smell something familiar to you. This is a scent that you have all smelled in your life before, and you've never been able to describe this scent to anyone else before other than it just smells like that, you know? And this scent gets stronger and stronger. And you slowly start to hear the quiet, almost imperceptible sound of bells approaching.
Wait, what was the smell?
Is it like a bad smell? Like a slightly off-putting smell? Like, does
It's-
Jazzy need a bath, or...
Smelly smell that smells smelly.
It's something that you have smelled in your life, whether you think it's good or you think it's bad. You have no way to describe it other than it just smells like that.
It just smells like...
It just smells like that, you know? It just smells like that.
Okay.
Do you all smell that thing that just smells like that?
I do. I didn't at first, but no. That's a very... That smell is a smell.
It's a
I
smell
also,
that
I
exists.
also hear that smelly thing. Lifts
What
a
do you
ear.
mean you hear the smelly thing?
You mean those little chimney chimes?
Yeah.
Doc checks his notebook for smells described as smelling like a smelly smell.
So this would be the kind of smell that every once in a while, if you're out and about doing something, it's like an olfactory memory. You will smell something, that you can't describe it. You have no idea what the words are to describe it, but all of a sudden, you are transported back to your childhood, or something is so poignant about this that it sticks out in your entire brain. Unless I'm the only person that has ever experienced this in this group, at which point I am very concerned for all of you.
No,
We
I
can't
got
taste
it.
Smells? Wouldn't that be us being concerned for you?
I've definitely smelled things before.
Yeah, I've smelled things as well. But I usually know what they smell like.
You guys have never had an olfactory memory that you just sit there and you are this is just me sitting there desperately trying to figure out what the fuck this smell is, because you know you've smelled it before. You can't figure out what it is. You can't figure out where it's coming from. You can't figure out what it connects to. But fuck, you know you've smelled it before.
And usually when I get
I
those,
have,
it's
but
like,
I know I have, but I know if I like the smell or not.
yeah, it's usually like, oh, that smells like the carpet at my grandmother's house, or
Smells like nonas.
yeah.
Yeah, I automatically try to connect to something so I don't go crazy.
Wild. You guys have just never had that one fucking memory that you're like, why the fuck does this smell like this?
Oh, I have, but I inevitably end up remembering where it makes me think of.
I very rarely remember what it makes me think of.
I suddenly don't feel like the only one being picked on today.
But yeah, so you start to hear these things, and the sound gets closer and closer, and the fire begins to die away.
No, it's too cold for that. Someone stoke the fire. Who has fire magic? Una?
Oh, here, let me try. No, nothing.
Una just continues to look distracted.
And then you start to hear something behind you, directly behind you, Jazzy.
Like, what kind of something?
You hear the crunching of boots on snow, and you hear the creaking of wood and the shuffling of items.
I immediately bounce, like literally bounce from my seat, turn around, and have cutlass drawn, as I'm still a little on high alert from before.
From not being allowed to stab a guy in the shoulder.
No, I stabbed him in the shoulder. I just wasn't allowed to cut it off.
I think they mean also the wolves.
Yeah, the wolves too.
Absolutely, those wolves that absolutely were harassing you all night. Those damn wolves.
Soon as Jazzy jumps up and turns around, I press the digitation somehow.
Does Doc have any way of knowing that this is Mab?
Give me an arcane check.
Okay.
You are, yeah, you pretty much immediately figure out with how these howls sound exactly the same, and they always seem to keep coming from the same direction. You're able to figure out that, yeah, this is
I
Matt.
can't even like stealth, I guess.
No, not with prestidigitation. Unless you want to try, but remember, you've been casting this spell a lot, so.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I'm aware it's a cantrip. That's not what I'm concerned about. But yeah, if you want to try to stealth it, go for it.
Good luck.
Mab channeling her inner Mia.
Shut the hell up.
I'm sitting here thinking it.
Doc catches you in the act and shoots you a very... His vision immediately snaps to you, and he like almost scowls for a half second, almost giving you a look like, it was you, and you lied, but doesn't say anything out loud.
Una's gonna look at you annoyedly and be like, so you're upset that I want to spend time with my brother, but you're out here playing practical jokes on Jazzy during our mission?
Practical
No,
jokes.
I'm upset. I'm upset that you would prefer to spend time with them over me and the job that we're on.
Since when do you care about me spending time with you? Who are you? At this point, Una transforms into Jason and be like, "Who are you? Who this?
Who dat? Who dat?"
I feel like I'm being lied to. Is your name Amber or something? You look like Amber.
I stand by the
What's
fact that
an
Amber
Amber?
never once. Amber never once.
I don't know, but they
lied.
sound like a liar to me in this form.
What do we mean, practical jokes?
I mean, my sister has been the one making the wolf sounds you've been hearing the entire time, Jazzy. And they keep
I'm not your sister. Let's get this menial, mortal, gender realm bullshit out of the way. I'm not your sister. 2, you suck. We made a pact as children not to rat each other's jokes out. You bloody imp.
But
Jazz. Go ahead,
you've
sorry.
been outing my jokes since I was a child. What?
No.
I don't even know you anymore.
I only get mad when you joke on me, but I've never told on you when you joke on others.
Technically, I didn't tell on you.
Una,
Huh?
you would also know that that's a fat load of shit.
What?
Mab has absolutely told on you before. Because you have your memories back, and you would absolutely know that, yes, they absolutely have ratted you out before. They haven't ratted you out since you've been in this realm, but they have absolutely ratted you out before.
Mab, darling, you're forgetting that one of us has their memories back. Ratting me out was what you used to do best.
You can't hold it against me if I don't know it happened. I'm not lying if I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm. And for the
I'm
record,
just saying,
Doc
what is the
technically outed you.
point of us being together? What is the point of us being twins? What is the point of us working on this job if all you want to do is leave?
I don't want to leave. I want to, 1, check on our brother to make sure he's not bleeding out. And 2, I just think it's overkill to have 4 of us here.
But you don't know what we're walking into. What if we walked into a trap and we died and you weren't there, but you could have done something?
Then I'm sure my darling sister would use her magic to tell me and I would come out here considering the house is like 2 feet away.
No, we're going out of the village. The house is in the woods.
Aren't they
I need
coming
everybody
here?
to make another perception check for me, please.
Wait, aren't they coming here?
Yes.
No,
Yeah, they're coming here.
I thought we were meeting them at their house.
No.
You have to get to their house. But Una, you are both going to take a penalty because you have been arguing.
When I'm rolling perception.
Yes.
My perception sucks anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Jazzy and Doc can both hear the sounds of more and more feet quickly approaching and the cart shifting and adjusting. Mab and Una cannot hear anything. And Jazzy and Doc, you hear what sound like multiple pairs of feet moving things around quickly.
Doc stands up almost abruptly, but not too abruptly, and turns around and says, "I know that sound. Feet."
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Holy shit, there are so many feet.
Una's gonna change into her true form.
Okay.
And can she test her like fluttering of the wings and flying or no?
You can try.
I'm trying. I'm bored.
And Doc, as you had turned around and looked around, you saw just you and Jazzy both able to see just at the very edges and glimmers of stuff what appear to be a group of children.
What do I roll?
For wings, give me Constitution.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to, as you've stretched out and kind of gotten used to this idea, it feels like it very much comes naturally. and you're able to kind of stretch your wings out and able to get a little bit off the ground, not super far off the ground, but you're able to get a few inches up. But it very much feels natural, like you've done this before. You're figuring it out.
Una's gonna flutter right on by their sibling and go over this.
What do you hear, Doc?
It sounds like feet. Many of them. More than 2.
It's just a bunch of kids.
Could
This
they
late,
be-
What do they do?
Wasn't the family we're supposed to meet be a bunch of kids?
Yes. That's true. Do you think it could be them?
Meeting the captain here, and the captain's taking us to the family.
As you guys begin to talk about this, you notice that there are what appear to be 3 sets of twins. The two oldest come over to you, Jazzy and Doc. The younger 2, or the middle 2, go over by you, Mab, and the youngest 2 go over to you, Una. And the elder 2, looking at you, and they are very unnerving children. Like, the oldest looks maybe 16, but his eyes are completely pitch black. He has no iris, he has no apparent sclera, no pupils, nothing.
Jazzy keeps her sword out, just kind of twirling it nervously in her hand.
Doc, the child that comes over to you is a girl who has white eyes, but very similar to the boy. No sclera, no pupils, nothing. They have the same long black hair, and they're both wearing very, very good quality, but very clearly worn and used, what almost appear to be camping gear. Sturdy boots and clothing, and very worn, very tired looking cloaks. And you notice that they have packed almost silently a horse to carry all of the goods. The horse had made nearly no noise, but you all notice that it has silver bells attached to its harness. And that was the jingling sound you'd heard.
So Doc is going to put 2 and 2 together, and then he's going to give a friendly wave, and he's going to ask, Are the lot of you prepared for a journey?
Doc,
And
don't wave to them. They're like demon children.
Jazzy, don't say that.
That's what they look like.
So what? Looks aren't everything. Life is life. Everybody is themselves.
Is that what you say to a big crocodile when his mouth's open, ready to bite your head off?
Jazzy, Jazzy, they're not crocodiles. Also, I'm talking to a Harangun.
What's your point?
Doc stammers. Jazzy, don't judge a book by its cover. I know these are children, not books, but give them a chance.
Oh, I don't like it.
Jazzy, you don't like anything except for alcohol.
It's making my ears twitch, okay? And when my ears twitch, it doesn't mean good things.
Don't your ears twitch fairly often?
Yes, and how
All the
often have they been wrong?
Well, statistically speaking, Doc pulls out his notebook and flips through the pages.
Jesus. He has the logs. Doc has the logs.
Ooh, the receipts have been pulled.
Oh.
Jesse reaches over and closes the book. Stop it!
It's not important. What's important right now is demon children.
How can we help you?
One of the middle children looks over at you, Mab, and this child, you think this child is a girl, probably about 12 years old, with eyes like a night sky. Again, no pupils, no sclera, no irises. And she kind of cocks her head at you, and she just kind of... She's staring apparently right through your soul.
Map doesn't have a soul.
That's why it's easy to stare through.
Damn.
She cocks her head and she goes, "Your past is all funny.
How
Are
do
you
know
one
that?
of the weird ones, or did you just bump your head? Or both?"
Are you one of the weird ones?
I don't know.
How do you not know, but you know about me?
Well, you have a spider web in your past, and I can't figure it out. I can't put it together. And she kind of brings her hands up, and she's kind of like moving them like in front of you, as if she's picking at knots in a weave.
Una, I don't like this.
Una, the two children standing in front of you appear to be no older than about 6 years old, holding hands, staring at you. And similar to what is happening with Mab, they both look at you and cock their heads, and they go, "You had a strange past, but you don't anymore. You put your weave together." And then one just kind of reaches out and apparently plucks a string next to you. But nothing happens.
So nothing happens when they pluck the string?
Well, it looks like they pluck a string. You don't know what they're actually doing.
Una's gonna giggle, shapeshift into them, and then repeat exactly what they said back to them.
And these two children break into big, wide smiles, and they start giggling, and you hear them talking to each other and whispering about a new playmate, when one of the older one looks over very harshly and says, "No, you can't keep this one," before looking back to Jazzy.
Una's gonna transform back to themselves, back to their true form with the wings again, and look over to the older son and be like, "Why can't they?"
The boy looks over at you. "Because you are already on a path. Should you choose to step off this path, you may very well die." Who then looks back at Jazzy.
Una's gonna transform again, like try to shapeshift into like various people to make the little ones in front of her laugh.
They are giggling and clapping, and they're making requests. They're making impossible requests, as if they're requesting specific people that you have transformed into before, and they are giving you names of people.
Okay, she's gonna look. Una's gonna look very shocked, and then continue to do it. And like, actually, you know what? Hang on, I'm gonna roll on this one. Due to the fact that Una's had a very weird day. Here's my roll. 1d20. You know what? Una's not even gonna notice. Una's not even gonna notice that they're saying things that they shouldn't know, and just do it to entertain them.
They correct you a couple times. No, Mia's taller than that. No, Jason's hair isn't that color.
Yeah, she's like not gonna notice, but she's gonna keep doing it, like laughing and having a blast.
Very
And
good.
she's gonna like make me and Jason argue and like ridiculous stuff.
So you mean like normal?
Yeah, pretty much. She's gonna make Garganoth eat breakfast.
Very good.
Yeah, she's just gonna literally put on like a show for the little ones.
Very good. At some point, the middle two come over, and the girl that you had been talking to, Mab, she just kind of looks at you and cocks her head again, and just kind of, "Your web is almost figured out, but you need to put it all together, and then it'll be okay." And she just kind of very tenderly like pats your leg, kind of at your thigh, and then walks over to enjoy the show that Una's putting on.
I don't... Why?
The older girl, older girl looks over at you, Mab. She just sighs and she gives you a smile. She's just, I'm sorry. They can't control their powers yet, and they just kind of let their mouths go. Just ignore them. You're doing fine. Your web is fine. It's fine.
Who are you, and why are you telling me this?
We are the guardians of this area. Is probably the most complicated way to put it, but it's what we're going with.
I'll tell you what they are. They're Una's new best friends is what they are.
The four of you were sent out into this area to discover information about the missing gods. And from what we've heard, at least two of you have had an experience with the gods, and we felt it poignant to come and investigate. I'm sure you've been told many tales about my siblings and myself.
Can't recall a single one.
Una's still too busy having a field day doing requests.
It's poignant, in your words, that Una would be befriending children.
The boy is he's still looking at you, Jazzy. He's not quite glaring, but you can tell that he's really not thrilled to be here, but it's very apparent he doesn't have much choice.
Jazzy has her blade in one hand and has fished a little clear vial of what appears to be water out of her bag, and is very carefully keeping Doc between her and the demon child.
Jazzy, put that away.
It's holy water. They don't like it. See how he looks at me?
Jazzy, you're embarrassing yourself.
He looks at you like that, Jazzy, because you're kind of acting like a little bit of a twit right now.
They're just curious.
The girl kind of like, oh no, I assure you, he looks at everyone like that. It's okay.
It's like he's wondering what I
So-
taste like.
You have to check on us because we heard from the gods.
And then this is when the boy looks over and is kind of, yep. And as for what you taste like, I would assume stringy chicken.
Hey, no stringy chicken.
No, but you're a rabbit, close enough.
Oh, shots fired.
Doc says, oh lordy, I can't stop Jazzy now.
Oh boy.
They said the R word.
I am not a rabbit, as you so rudely put it. And she pulls the stopper out of the vial and throws the holy water at him.
Doc will try to block it or swat it down or something.
Go ahead and give me. You know what? No, I'm just gonna say Doc misses, and the boy just is standing there with his arms crossed as the water hits him in the face, and he just kind of blinks at you a couple times, Jazzy, as the water is dripping down his face.
No, they surpassed the holy water. They're even more powerful than I expected.
Jazzy, oh my god, get your tin hat, you're going crazy.
Doc face palms.
He looks over at Doc. I assure you, we're not demons. Could you please get your pet under control?
Boy.
What?
Okay, first of all, I was on your side, but now whatever happens to you, you made your bed, then you have to sleep in it now.
The girl is like, no, we don't need to make beds or sleep in them at all. I assure you, we just need to make our way to our house, and we will explain everything. I assure you.
Oh, so you're the ones we're meeting?
Yes, we are.
Where's the captain?
He was never going to be a part of this. Did he tell you he was coming?
I thought he was taking us to you.
No, he doesn't know where we live.
You certainly describe roughly where you live, though.
At that moment, Una's transforming into the captain and be like, "Me not know something? Shocker!" and turn back into their true form.
The children are giggling. Well, okay. So technically he's been to our house, but he hasn't taken the right path to get to our house. So technically he would know where we live. He just doesn't know how to get to where we live. It'll make more sense on the trail. I promise you. I promise you. Just please come with us, and it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense. I promise you, it'll make sense.
Didn't we wait
just-
for the captain though?
I'm not sure it's in our best interest to go with magical children. This feels like a you go and you don't return situation.
I promise you, you will return. I promise you. I mean, unless you somehow manage to die on the road there, but I can't imagine that'll happen. But I assure you, I promise you, I know you have no reason to believe me, and that's okay. But I assure you, you will be returned unharmed.
Doc would like to
Insight
insight check.
Please do.
God, rolling like dog shit today.
Doc, you believe that she is telling the truth. She seems very genuine, very sincere, very much like she doesn't appear to be deceiving you. Mab, you are slightly more paranoid.
Talk, I don't think they're telling the truth.
Doc feels more or less at peace, and he says, "Mab, we have nothing to fear."
They're children. You always have something to fear.
That's a bit. What have you had weird experiences with children that
Don't
That-
answer.
you've never gotten over?
Mab is a weird experience with children.
Well, I don't
Yep.
get the feeling that these are murderous children, so I think we're okay.
All right, but I reserve the right to use you as a shield if it comes to that.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. I'm already gonna have to shield them from Jazzy, so
Oh, I'm gonna
there's-
tear
What's
one of their
one more?
throats out. There ain't gonna be no beds to sleep in. They're gonna be sleeping in the locker, and she leaps over Doc to go at the one that called her a pet.
Doc will do his best to try to get tangled in Jazzy to slow them down.
Jazzy, give me an attack roll. Doc, give me an athletics.
All right. So Doc will try to use his staff to propel himself upward and get in front of Jazzy.
An
Okay.
attack roll, like just a hand-to-hand attack roll.
Yeah, just a regular hand-to-hand.
Okay, so I mean, that'd be a strength. Well, no, if I'm jumping over, it'd be Dex, wouldn't it?
Well, are you specifically attacking him, or what are you? You said you're jumping over. What
Oh,
are
I
you
was
trying?
jumping over Doc, and that then close the distance between me and the other one.
Okay, so yeah, then go ahead and give me a dex to try to jump over Doc.
Okay.
Yeah, Doc, you missed Jazzy's foot by a couple inches, but she
By a
sails
hair.
by a hair.
Here.
And yes, Jazzy, you managed to clear Doc and his staff pretty easily, and you land in front of the boy who's just kind of staring at you.
Well, she lands with arms outstretched to wring his little neck.
Oh yeah, because that's
How tall are you?
Jazzy is with ears fully extended, 6'3".
Okay, so with ears extended, you are the same height that he is.
Then I'll reach up to wring his neck.
He's just kind of staring down at you with his arms crossed, with like a grumpy frown and a cocked eyebrow.
Ain't no,
What's the matter, Cottontail? Did I hurt your feelings?
I ain't no pet. I'll tear out your throat like I've done so. I don't care if you're a kid or not.
Cute. I'd love to see you try that.
Meanwhile, Doc is walking
Are you
over to
going
sort of
through
separate them.
puberty? Because you, oof, very rude.
You don't know the half of it. This is me
That-
being nice.
That you're rude or going through puberty.
I'll let you figure it out.
I have quite the imagination. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do that.
Is this the oldest? Is this the older one? The older one that said that they can't keep Una or whatever?
Yes, this is the one that kind of snapped at, like that growled at the children that you can't keep this one.
Okay.
And the older girl is kind of like, no, we really don't need to fight. I assure you, I will promise you whatever you want. Let's just, oh, Remus, why are you doing this today? This was not supposed to go this way. And he's just kind of like, it's not my fault. It is literally your fault. Just go sit in the cart and be nice for once in your fucking life.
You hear Doc in the background. Remus is being kind of a dick.
Remus just
Anyway.
he just kind of smirks at you, Jazzy, before moving on to go stand by the horse.
Jazzy, I think he has a crush on you.
Crush his little neck.
That would be domestic partnership violence, and I don't condone that.
We know domestic partners.
I assure you, as tempting as it is, I would appreciate you not brutally murdering my brother.
Anyway, logistics. How long? Where are we going? How long are we going to be there?
Well, how long you're going to be here will entirely depend on you guys and how quickly you believe what I'm going to tell you. And the walk there should take no more than an hour if we go quickly. I appreciate your sibling for keeping ours occupied.
Una would like to know if they have to go because they don't feel like they should have to participate in anything.
I mean, well, no, they don't have to, but I don't feel like they feel like babysitting 4 children that they don't know, because as soon as I take my eyes off these 4, if they don't have somebody paying attention to them, they're going to cause havoc in the village, and I don't want that on my conscience today.
Are they going to stay here if we all go? Why would
No.
they have to watch anyone?
Have you ever babysat before?
Absolutely not. I don't like children.
Okay, then yes, to simplify this, yes, they have to come with us.
Hear that, Una? You've been summoned.
If we go, can my brother follow? He's not in good condition right now, and I feel bad about leaving him how he is.
And she kind of looks for a second and kind of... You see her kind of almost like she's counting everyone. She's just... No, unfortunately not. The balance would be off.
What if he took my spot?
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
not.
Why?
Because he literally could be laid out at any moment.
And that's also literally his fault.
Did you guys tell anyone that he was injured? Or did you just kind of...
Isn't he being taken care of by the... Oh wait, no, he was the barman.
Yeah, he was the innkeeper.
He's fine. He said he was fine.
Okay. Well, we need to hurry, so... my siblings are very attached to you, so I would prefer that you stay with us so that they don't wind up causing havoc. But yes, we need to go quickly because the timing is in balance and we need to go now.
Explain the balance.
I will explain when we get to my house.
Let me go get the captain to watch our brother.
Wouldn't he be asleep?
We can't just leave him like this.
You hear from the cart. You kind of hear from the cart. Yeah, you can. If he dies, he dies.
I'm starting to kind of like the twit.
Una's eyes flash very dangerously at that guy.
He meets your gaze easily with no fear.
Well, then I'm sure I'll have a lovely time watching your siblings here. Because I'm
Okay.
going.
Oh my god, you're being hard to handle right now, Una.
So you notice that as soon as you mention that, Una, the older girl just kind of starts fidgeting, and she's kind of like, no, we have to have an even number. We have to have you come with us. We have to have you come. We can't leave you behind. You have to come with us. If you don't come with us, it's not going to be in balance. You have to come with us. We have to all go together. If we don't go together, it doesn't work right.
Then someone better make sure my brother is okay before we go.
Quite
One of-
interesting how you suddenly started caring about other people's well-being.
One of the kids that you've been entertaining, Una, pipes up and just goes, "Oh, he's okay. His web was all tangled, but it's not anymore. He's got a lot of web left to go. He's fine. He's okay. He's not going to bleed out today, or tomorrow, or the next day, or for a while now. He might bleed out in the future, but I can't see that far ahead yet. But he's not going to bleed out, at least right now."
How can you tell?
Because this is the DM's way of saying, hey, the fuck up through this narrative.
I'm in checking.
Uh,
I got a 9, of course, because fuck my life.
You can't tell if this small child is telling the truth or not, but as someone asks you, like, how do you know that? Oh, I see the future. It's what I do.
Huh.
Then why did your siblings say the way he did about them dying?
Oh, that's because Remus. Remus doesn't see the future. Remus doesn't see the past or the present either. That's what we do, and points to like 2 of the other ones. That's what we do. No. Remus and Calliope, they're what are the big words? What are the big words? And you notice that the girl Calliope has like these huge eyes. She's like, "Oh, this was not how this was supposed to go. Let's go, let's go, let's go."
You're right. I doubt Remus could see anything other than his big head.
Oh god, we're bullying children now.
Oh, like you were a moment ago.
I wasn't commenting on his head size.
Oh, instead you were wondering whether he was going through puberty and
Oh
much
my
better.
god, Una, why are you being so difficult today?
Whatever, let's go.
Starting to feel very Jason-like.
Una goes back to shape-shifting to amuse the kids and turning into Mab and making like Mab be like whiny and annoying.
That's literally you today, Una. What?
That's Mab. This is literally what Una's doing in front of the kids right now.
They are laughing hysterically. They think it's great. They're having a fun time.
Oh man, let me stuff my canoes while we do this stupid work. I'm mad.
Okay. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Can we go, please?
Well, we don't know where to go, so you're going to have to lead the way.
Yes, you get in the cart. And the horse takes us. That's how a cart, that's what carts do.
I climb in the car.
It's very comfortable. Like, from the outside, it looked like much more of a smaller, almost wagon style, but as you climb in, you kind of sink down, and it's very comfortable. Like, very soft cushions, very plush, nice and warm, not too hot.
Jazzy goes over to the cart. Come on, Doc. Let's get this over with.
That's the spirit. He'll start humming himself as he happily trots along towards the cart.
Una's gonna hold one of each of the younger children's hands and go in the car with them while they continue to be like annoying version of Mab. Like, come on now, we gotta go in the car now. Let's go.
They are very happily chattering with you about, again, things that they shouldn't know. And yeah, as you all climb in the cart, it's very comfortable. And the only reason you would know that you had started moving as Remus and Calliope join you is the scenery outside the few cracks that you can see in the board start to change. And you travel through the forest for a little while, but at one point, the forest had changed. Everything had been very dark, blues almost. And as you get to a new location, everything is much brighter, almost as if you had traveled overnight, but the sky is still filled with stars. And everything around is warmer, vibrant. The trees are a little scrubby, but nothing is too... It almost looks like this is the kind of place that has just recently been developed. Everything looks very new without looking... I don't have words.
Does anything feel different? Are we out of the cart right now?
Yes, you guys have gotten out of the cart. The horse has been taken care of. The air is crisp and fresh. There isn't really much wind, and everyone with magic, it feels better. Your magic.
Like when Una's in her true form, does anything change for her? Like, does she feel any different?
You feel
Wings, et cetera, et
secure.
cetera.
You feel more secure in this form, as if you're not going to sneeze and transform into something else. Your wings are a little sturdier. Mab, you feel kind of this same thing. Like, you kind of feel like there's a little something different about this area. Doc, this is extraordinarily peaceful to you. And Jazzy, even you feel it.
Well, Jazzy's the master of magic in the party, so that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You feel like the magic all around.
Oh, Jazzy must be in hell.
I don't like this feeling.
Hey, we could have stayed back.
DM wouldn't have allowed it.
Us.
You would have wound up in this area one way or another.
It's making my ears twitch again.
Jesse.
What?
The younger ones are drawing Una forward away from the group as Remus and Calliope start loading things into the house.
Una's gonna like stretch her wings
Doc is gonna help Calliope and
and see
make
if
conversation.
she can like, fly with the kids. Can Una like fly / cover with the kids or no?
No, they're too heavy.
Damn. But it was worth it.
You're also brand new to having your wings, so you're still not really sure how to use them fully. And every time you try to pick one of the kids up, you just kind of wind up tilting and falling back to the ground.
Una's gonna find this hilarious, so she's just gonna laugh every time it happens.
Oh, the kids think it's great.
Yeah, so Una's gonna be like laughing with the kids.
Okay. Doc, you said you were going to make conversation with Calliope?
Yeah, I'm gonna be helping them unload, and
Okay.
I'm
This is you,
gonna
not Doc.
look to Calliope, and I'm gonna say, I feel like this isn't the first time we've met, at least not in that form.
Ooh.
And she looks at you and she smiles. And she says, well, not me specifically, but you've met one of my parents.
Do you share memories?
Sort of, kind of, little bit. I'm, one of the kids of the gods, and Vemry is my, how do mortals put it? Bio donor, I guess? I share closest relation with them. I can't tap into their memories specifically, but you probably have met me at some point. As I can tell, you're a priest of my parents, so you've probably interacted with me before. I'm usually a temple attendant or something like that. It's really not a big deal. It's part of why we wanted to talk to you guys.
Well, it's great to be in your company again. I hope we can be of help.
I hope so too. And you hear Remus grumbling. Ignore him. He's grumpy. I promise you, normally he's actually really pleasant. He's just grumpy.
He's just a kid who misses his parents, yeah?
Yeah, we all do, and the four littles, they haven't really figured out what's happening, because, I mean, they've been that age for a long time now, because we don't really age without our parents around. So Remus and I kind of took up the mantle of just kind of running everything, and they haven't really figured it out. They just think they're off exploring the world, and it's been really hard. And Remus is trying, but yeah, he really wants our parents back, and I really want our parents back, and it's just been really hard. And I promise you, he really is a nice guy. He's just struggling. He's not normally this grumpy, but I do apologize for what happened with your hair and gun friend. He probably meant what he said, but I mean, he's just grumpy, you know?
Doc chuckles and then looks towards his friends in a loving way and says, I know the type. He'll grow on us, I'm sure.
Like a fungus, but he'll grow. Jazzy, what are you doing at the moment?
Jazzy's sitting there, just kind of listening and watching, still kind of nervous and off-put by this magical feeling that she's getting in her fur.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay. You would notice that as everything is getting unloaded, the boy Remus is much more relaxed being back by the cabin, and you actually see him smile a few times.
Unnerving.
And I know, it's terrifying. A grumpy teenager smiling, it's terrifying. But you see him, like, he'll go over and he'll play with the kids a little bit, or one goes off too far and he'll go chasing after. And eventually, between him and Calliope, they managed to wrangle everybody into the main area of the house. I'm gonna go ahead and teleportation powers, yay! And so eventually everybody winds up in the main portion of the house, just talking and chatting, and Remus has gone off to put things aside. The little ones have gone off to go explore in their room.
Couldn't have gone with little ones?
Yeah. So they would have taken you into this back bedroom that's it's littered with toys. There's the bed has been divided up into more like 4 beds.
Mm-hmm.
There's toys everywhere of all different shapes and sizes. There's drawings, crayons, markers, all kinds of things. It's a very homey, lived-in space.
We're just gonna hang out with them.
You gonna vibe with the kiddos?
Yeah, she's just gonna continue to try to entertain them and like draw with them or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
She's gonna draw her palette and show her like try to draw the palace that she lived in, that she just remembered recently.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
They are very excited to have you draw with them. Remus winds up making dinner while Calliope makes tea, and they have everyone, they bring everyone over eventually. They take food to the kids in the room with a portion for Una, and everything else over to the table.
I Remus if he needs help with dinner.
If you want to take plates to the table or bread out, that'd be fine. And you notice that he's very different to the kid that you first met. He's definitely still grumpy, but there's something different about being in what there's something different about being home that he feels a little less prickly.
I don't do any snide remarks or anything like that. Very straightforward. This is not my house. So wherever he points out to where the cutlery is or anything like that, Mab would just as silently get things set up, and then maybe just like do a little humming song, probably like a shanty.
Ooh.
That they've played in a tavern sometime. Something very calming. But not obtrusive in his space. Just, you know, a little bit to herself. She, as much as she doesn't like kids, she feels bad because it's not their fault the parents are gone.
Mm-hmm. He would point out to you, you know, cutlery, napkins, things like that, and just have you point at the table. And then he just kind of assists Calliope in getting tea and stuff prepped. And she's much calmer. She's no longer quite as neurotic as she had been previously.
Does that work?
Let's see.
Because I know the spell can do that. You can mimic a voice.
I know it can't. Yes, it does. It does, in fact, work.
Yep. So that is what Una's doing.
Very good.
And she's letting like the kids know that that's what she's doing and to watch.
And Mab, as you're assisting Remus, you notice that his cheeks and his ears have gotten a little redder. As he just kind of occasionally will like move past you. He doesn't say anything, but he's definitely a little flustered.
Oh, I'm gonna say this
Like,
just so Matt would know. For the first time since they came to this town, since Una's been with the kids, your sibling seems a little bit more like their normal, like, happy trickster self.
Mab is not paying attention to you at all because you didn't give a shit about them earlier, so
No, you might notice that when they were outside, not now. Now you don't see them.
no. Mab has been ignoring you since you
Okay.
were being a dick.
That's fine. I mean, they're
Right.
still being a dick, you just don't know about it.
That's whatever. Whatever it is, I guess.
All right, Jazzy and Doc, what are you guys doing while dinner is getting prepared?
Doc, you
Um,
go first.
Doc would probably just be helping out and then picking up on stories or making conversation, trying to learn more about Calliope or whoever else is around.
Okay.
Just like he seems very interested and fascinated. He loves hearing new stories and learning things that he can pass on to others.
Okay. So she would mostly tell you stories about the area that they're living in. She's not really going to tell you much personal information, but she would tell you some old fables and legends of this area. I'll write those all out for you later.
Perfect.
And then she'd have you, you know, assist with prepping stuff and getting the fires going and things like that.
Cool.
And what are you doing, Jazzy Jazzy?
Jazzy's kind of hanging out by the door. She's still kind of on edge. Doesn't really like this. It's weird that there's a bunch of kids living by themselves in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she's trying to put on a good face about it.
Right. You would see Remus slowly turning more and more red as the time goes on. And you would hear the kids giggling and, you know, occasionally squealing with laughter, as children are intended to do. And occasionally you would see Remus stumble. And just as everything gets ready, it seems it seems like this is just a quiet little family getting ready for a meal, and then Calliope calls out that dinner is ready. Remus takes portions to the kids and preps the table for the adults to have dinner. And she just kind of pokes her head around.
When Remus hands Una their plate, Una asks, "I really hope you enjoyed the song my sibling sang for you."
Jazzy, you can see his whole face, and so can you, Una, go bright red. And you both hear him start cursing in a strange language.
Una starts laughing with the kids.
The kids are all they're laughing and giggling and
Poor Remus.
he comes over to you at one point, Jazzy, and he goes, "I'm sorry about my comments earlier. They were rude of me."
You ought to be.
I am very sorry for that, but I will give you the heads up as you seem to be the leader of this merry band of misfits.
Well, I don't know that.
You seem to be the most capable one in charge. Is that better?
Not sure what. Continue.
Keep that one, and he points at Una, away from me, or I will be able to be held responsible for what I may or may not do.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, I can't control either of those two. Doc, maybe, but siblings?
He just kind of squints at you for a second, and you get the feeling that he's like reading you.
I'm gonna count when he says that. If Una picks up on it when he points at her, Una's gonna do that, and whatever the worst innuendo that he heard during the song was is gonna ring like really loudly in his ears.
He actually doesn't pay much attention because he's too focused on Jazzy, and he's staring at you, Jazzy.
Okay, but like it's like a yell in his ear. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, like he hears it.
Okay, good. As long as he hears it.
Oh yeah, he definitely hears it, but he's very focused on Jazzy.
And Jazzy would hear it probably too and be like, "What the fuck?" Because he's gonna hear Mab's voice saying something like that.
She's gonna, like, her ear twitches in that direction, but she's gonna kind of rock forward onto her toes to try and, like, get a little bit more height.
Get a couple extra inches.
As she stares him down.
Up.
Up. Like, little angry nose twitches.
You can tell that he's looking down at you, but he's not looking down at you. He seems very fascinated by you. You have some great potential. You just got to figure out how to use it.
Let me ask
All right,
you
Sarah, it's
something.
dinner time.
Now he's gonna hear Jazzy's voice flirting with him.
He just kind of fires. He just kind of fires back at Una. Stop it!
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
She gives him, like, a real, discerning eye. Do you like my ears up or down? And then she grins.
Beet red blushing. And he's just kind of... They look lovely either way, but trust me, I'm too old for you.
This is why you're my favorite party member, Jazzy.
Hey, I had to go for the Bugs Bunny joke.
It's great.
She was kind of...
Also, Jazzy and Remus are going to hear in Remus's voice, "I don't know much about length."
I don't know much about
How many times have you cast that cantrip now?
A lot.
Okay.
For the first time in a while, Una feels comfortable with magic. Oh yeah, I know what's happening. I have zero regrets.
Mab rounds the corner and is like, Jazzy, are you flirting with the children?
Just teasing him a little bit.
Remus's
Listen.
face is just bright fluorescent red.
Listen,
That doesn't look like a little bit.
we ain't been at a nice inn for weeks, maybe a month at this point, and you know, I kind of need a little bit of fun. I'm not gonna hurt him yet.
Plus, if you think that's bad, you should have heard what you were saying to him in your song.
What?
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 No.
What?
Una goes back to the kids.
Who are all giggling.
And then
I gather that you're smart enough to know that Uno is playing a trick on you.
And then in Mab's ear, she's gonna hear one of the worst innuendos that Una made him hear while she was singing or doing the song. Essentially, the entire time you were doing the song, he was hearing you write a love song about him with a lot of sexual innuendos.
That makes me feel icky because he's a child. Una.
What are you talking about? He's older than we are.
But his body looks like a child.
Oh, coming from the one who's like, oh, you in puberty? I have an active imagination. And Una flutters back to the kids.
I often find myself left apologizing for my sibling.
I understand that very clearly. But yes, shall we shall we have dinner? And then we can discuss why you're here.
It wasn't real. You shan't be embarrassed around me.
Una's gonna pass on dinner and say that she's gonna go outside for a bit while you guys eat.
Who's missing out on all the fun lore?
Huh?
Una, we have to talk, right? And you tend to talk over dinner.
I'll be back when you're done dinner. Thank you. Bye.
Jesus Christ, if he was a character in here.
I don't think I've met him, and I've met plenty of people that my parents work with.
Don't worry, he's just a minor deity.
Jazzy rolls her eyes and walks over to the table.
I'm sure if anything's important, my lovely sibling will have no doubt waste my time telling me. Anyway,
Don't worry about it. I won't waste your time doing anything for you anymore, Una. You clearly made that a priority.
She runs out the door to go see this really cool place where he feels like magic's actually there again.
So Calliope is just kind of awkwardly sitting there, just like, yep. This is great. This is great for family dinners. So glad you guys could join us. This is great.
You're very
Thank you for
welcome.
having us.
So?
Well, I didn't want to intrude too much on anybody's deeply personal lives, so I just kind of guessed about what kind of food you were. I'm sorry, we didn't have much for vegetarian cuisine, so we did our best. So I'm sorry if that's I didn't cook rabbit. If that's I wasn't sure if that would be offensive or not. I know you're not a rabbit. I just didn't want to offend you, Jazzy.
She twitches at the first mention of rabbit before realizing she's not being called a rabbit. And then relaxes again.
Remus just kind of snorts, not actually a rabbit. She probably wouldn't be offended. It's well, I don't really know where the line is drawn between Harengon and if they eat rabbits or not. So I just felt it would be a better option to just leave it off the table. So
Well, it's the thought that counts. And this is all lovely. Thank you for having us.
Yes. So help yourself, and if you guys have any questions before dinner, or like during dinner that we want to talk about that are like really important, we absolutely can. Otherwise, I figure we'll save the important stuff for when the little ones go to sleep.
Sure. I was wondering, how long have you all been here for?
And she kind of looks over at Remus, and she just kind of, well, that's a hard question. Remus and I have been living out in this area for 5 or 6 centuries at this point.
Wow. That's a long time.
I mean, when you're divine, it doesn't really matter, does it?
That's fair.
But then, it was probably about, I don't know, 50, 75 years ago, our parents kind of went out and then never came back.
Why does this area feel different from the town?
Oh, that's easy. That's because we live here, and since we're technically the closest thing that this world has to gods right now, this area is stable because we make it stable.
I understand.
Fascinating. Do we suffer the same repercussions for using magic here?
You won't suffer them as badly, but there's still consequences for using magic if you use it excessively. And I take it you don't believe that the gods are real, my friend, as she looks over at you, Jazzy.
What was your first clue?
Is there anything I can do to change your mind, or anything I can do to convince you? Or is this just one of those, you have to take my word and I have to take your word?
Hey, I'm perfectly reasonable to let you believe whatever you want to believe, but you know, I've been on the sea for long enough to know the only thing worth thinking about is what's under the water and what's in the clouds. And
But
neither
Jazzy,
of them.
I'm not on the sea right now.
That doesn't mean land's any different than the sea. There's dangers
Land is
everywhere.
Plenty different than the sea.
Well, she does make a good point, though. You should always be cautious of what's around you and your surroundings and everything. You should always make sure to be aware. It's like, yeah, we're not on the sea anymore, but that doesn't mean that you never won't be on the sea again. And yeah, it's really important to know.
Why don't you dive a little bit into Jazzy and maybe tell her something that would help her believe that you have this kind of divine gift?
Mab, I really don't think there's any... I mean, there's enough stuff to worry about that are tangible and you can see and feel and taste it that you ain't gotta be worried about somebody deep down underground or way up in the clouds sitting there on a little, I don't know, stool, throne.
What are you talking about? The divine aren't way up in the clouds or under the dirt.
So why is it when people pray they look up?
I mean, do they? It's not an experience I've ever had.
At this point, Jazzy, you notice that Remus is staring at you again with that same look on his face of that deep thoughtfulness.
She just kind of looks at him with not like bad side eye, but just like the quick little glance of a side eye.
Mm-hmm.
And like lowers the ear on that side so she can't see him out of the corner of her eye anymore.
And he just kind of looks at you, Jazzy, and he You know, I've never felt that turncoat was appropriate for what you did. Feels rather rude, if you ask me.
It is rude, especially bringing it up at a dinner table.
You wanted some divine quality. You've never mentioned that story, and yet how would I know that your crew accused you of turning and abandoning them for Doc?
Well, I figure they've been looking for me all this time. I mean, there was somebody in the freaking bar that called me that earlier.
Orion, ignore him. He doesn't know ass from end.
I did what I did to get Doc off the ship. I should have been more careful. Shouldn't have made so much noise. And
Was it
maybe
really?
maybe I chose the wrong decision to hop in that boat.
Was it really just to get Doc off the boat? Was it really that? Or wasn't there something deep inside that was telling you how wrong it was for him to be used this way, and how it would be so much better and so much more exciting to get off the boat, to be able to actually free someone and help someone beyond just doing what you were told?
Well, yeah, it was wrong. They were using him. All we were doing was using him for whatever magic they thought he had to, heal us up after we went raiding, or... I mean, I've watched over all kinds of prisoners, and we've had people who killed people, and Doc was just... Well, Doc was just too good to be locked in the brig.
No, Doc.
And so you took it upon yourself, acting as potentially an agent of chaos, as it were. Righting a wrong. Potentially an agent of order, not even realizing it.
I don't know about all that. I just, I took the keys off my belt, unlocked it, and got Doc to one of the boats, and... I just made a little bit too much noise, and... the rest... He knows.
More people know than you want to admit.
I
thought
ain't
it was
gone
sweet.
soft. Well, you can think it's sweet. You weren't meant to be in there, alright? And I ain't gone soft.
Between mouthfuls, Doc says, I think that was the beginning of Jazzy's redemption arc.
Don't get me wrong, I'll still cut throats with bare claws if I have to.
Wouldn't you prefer to use rabbit claws?
Ain't no rabbit.
Jazzy is fierce, but Jazzy sort of knows when and when not to use that feistiness and murderous slashing of the wrists and hacking people up and stuff.
I do have a
Yes.
reputation to maintain.
And they say that's what makes a difference between a hero and a villain, is picking your moments and knowing right from wrong. And it sounds like Jazzy knew what was wrong.
And-
Go ahead, sorry.
And opted to correct it, as one would say that you could. Why, you could have just turned and ran, left Doc there, kicked him on the boat, but you went with him.
Well, he was already in the boat, and he's kind of heavy. I don't think I could have kicked him
Hey,
out. Well, you are! You get the big shell, and I ain't that big. She kind of slumps in the chair a little bit.
Aww.
Guys just having a day.
I won't try to convince you anymore of things that you're not ready to accept. But just
Good.
think about it this way, little Harangon. Even on a boat, you have to have faith in something. the wind, the seas, the skies, the sails. There has to be something there. You can't see the wind, but you know it's there. You can't control the waves, but you know they're there. What's so different in your belief in the waves than others' belief in us?
Because I see what they do. The wind fills the sails up when it blows, and when it's not blowing, there ain't no sails to fill up. When the waves move, I can feel it rock the boat under my feet. I mean, it's simple.
And what do you do in poor weather? Do you just accept that this is what it is, or do you hope that the storm clears? And it clears quickly, so you can get back doing what you're doing, or hope that it doesn't destroy your ship.
I mean, there's always hope for that kind of stuff, but it's not like I'd be praying no extra planar person, animal, or worshipped boot. You know, you have faith in your crew, you have faith in the people around you, and together you work and you make it through the storm, and you make sure that the sails are tied down and the mast is straight, and everybody's lines are tied, and you know, you work together.
And you have your hope.
Yeah, but that's hope in people.
Who's to say that hope in something divine is different than having hope in people?
She kind of crosses her arms over her chest. I don't know. When did this all become about me?
You asked for proof, and I gave you information I shouldn't have any way of knowing.
Doc laughs and says, by the time we're through, Jazzy will believe. Of that much I'm certain.
I'm certain of a lot of things, but never mind. She kind of just she turns one way, notices there's still people just to look at on that side. She turns another way until she's kind of like just facing a wall.
Jazzy's just done with everyone's shit.
Jazzy didn't come here to be personally attacked.
Yeah. That's right.
Jazzy won't learn today.
Wait, you gotta learn! Calliope is just kind of sitting there, face in her hands, and she's just... Ignore him. He's causing trouble like he always does. Give me 1 minute of peace.
Maybe if I get up and shake my tail at him, he'll shut up.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
you don't
dear.
know until you try.
I'm far too old for you. I would feel wrong cradle robbing that far.
She kind of grumbles again.
Jazzy, you're gonna take that?
Apparently not.
I find the personality shift between the campfire and your homestead quite interesting.
It's amazing how much more comfortable you are and how more of yourself you can be when you're home. Away from...
When you step out of your home, you act like you really are 16. And then when you come back, you're suddenly seen something.
Interesting.
I've seen more than the lot of you put together. I don't feel like regaling my life story. We're here to talk about how you're going to get our parents out of trouble.
Oh, I wasn't asking for anything. I was merely making an observance.
Wait,
I think
parents?
I liked you better. Wait, are you dumb?
I think
What?
the cotton may be between her ears as much as on her ass.
She was staring at your ass, Cassie. She was staring at your ass, Cassie.
Did I miss them telling us that their parents were these gods?
Several times, Jazzy. Several times.
Well, not technically several. I mean, I had a conversation with Doc and Map was there, and it's okay, Jazz. You didn't miss a lot. We really only brought it up once.
She kind
I feel like it was heavily implied.
of lifts her hand and waves her hand around. Never mind, don't mind me. Continue, Map. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna make a joke about demigods with this new wizened personality he has, but I'll leave that be, I guess. He seems to quite favor my friend anyway.
It's because of the stringy chicken comment, isn't it?
That I think you favor Jazzy.
You notice for like a brief second, Remus looks absolutely horrified, and then very quickly schools his expression. No, I assure you, I don't favor anyone.
Too bad. Could make some really nice demigods.
We're not having this conversation.
She covers her face with her ears.
I mean, I was originally going to imply myself, but it's still weird because you're in the body of a kid, and that makes me very uncomfortable. So I will pass you on to Jazzy.
It's okay if I'm not gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm sure as shit gonna make my friend uncomfortable.
That's like a 6 foot tall kid.
There are plenty of teenagers.
I am so happy I'm not in that house right now.
Don't worry, you're about to be.
Of course.
Can't escape.
Anyway,
I can
I
try.
feel like time is of the present.
Time is generally of the present. Could you have possibly meant essence?
Probably.
I've heard Doc say something about present and time and days.
Yeah, that's probably where I got it from.
Should we get Una involved in this conversation? I feel like it would be important if they know these things too. But, I mean, because again, we need to have balance, and everything's off balance right now, and it would just be great if we could have balance.
It doesn't seem that Una particularly cares all that much.
Well, if we could have someone go get them, that would be great.
Jazzy gets up. Anything to get away from this table right now.
You just want to swish your little tail poof.
She stares at Mab and like puts a hand over her tail as she walks to the door.
You're still shaking your hips, Jazzy.
It happens when I walk.
Remus is like aggressively trying to avoid looking at anything in Jazzy's direction.
You're very easy to read for a god. It's a little dry up here on the mountain, eh?
Oh God.
Well, considering my only other options are my sisters.
Disgusting, and we shouldn't even have entertained the thought in your head.
Says the one who brought up the topic of conversation. Again, isn't this conversation supposed to not be about me? Why am I being brought up into this?
Because you're fascinating. You can't expect us to meet the children of the gods, get whisked away to their humble little abode, and not make them the center of conversation.
No, I can absolutely
walk
expect
around
that.
the kitchen red as a tomato.
Well, I would blame your sibling for that one.
Yes, you did invite Una into your house, so it should have been expected.
Calliope, handle them before I set someone or something, or potentially both, on fire.
Is that your kink? Fire. We should wait for Jazzy then.
Doc is looking through his notebook to see if he knows anything about a fire kink.
I mean, I can come up with some stuff that your books would know. I don't know if it'd specifically be the kinks, but we can sure figure it out.
I'm all
I'm
ears.
sure I've got an extra blessed candle that we can use wax from.
Oh no, please, not more candles.
Oh, you know who uses candles? Kobolds. Kobolds are known for using candles.
Kobold Kake.
Oh, I think Doc had a question, and you guys being more all-knowing than us, as, you know, flaunting that you've lived for centuries, so you can probably answer his question.
I'm going to regret this.
Well, wait, did the captain tell us what kobold cakes were?
He
we
told you what-
skipped over that part.
He told you what kobold cakes were.
Okay.
That wasn't your question.
Well, Doc thinks that it's just. Okay, never mind. Have you ever had kobold cakes before? Kobold kakes or cakes?
Doc very poignantly wants to know what a kobold kake would be.
It's cake, misspelled. That's all.
Why would they misspell it? Are you sure?
Yes, because they thought it would be funny. Because kobold starts with a K.
Doc.
I think the shop is run by one specifically named Dim, and I think he's living up to his name.
Don't make fun of Dim. He tries very hard.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying he's living up to his name.
He was Employee of the Month last week.
And every week before that, and every month before that, because people take pity on him because of his mother.
Can Doc choose to fail a certain check?
Absolutely, you can choose to fail a check.
Okay,
Yep.
Doc is gonna see if they're full of shit or not and choose to fail.
I mean, you failed anyway.
Doc is gonna be looking through his book and say, I've been quite the studious one, and throughout all my time, I've never come across anybody misspelling cake like that on purpose. I'm certain. If you don't know what it is, it's okay. You can just say so.
Doc, I think you might have struck a chord with him. Look, his ears are a little bit red.
I didn't mean to offend or embarrass. I'm sorry. I just wanted to know what a kobold kake was.
I assure you, it's just cake spelled wrong. I promise you, it's just cake spelled wrong.
Doc
I don't know, you
sighs.
really are nailing that point home quite defensively.
Well, what if
I
it
need
wasn't?
air.
Doc
And-
will write in his notebook.
Luna's outside. Lesser of two evils, man.
He goes out the back door.
Doc writes in his notebook, definition TBD. I guess I'll save this for another day.
And
Save that.
question of God couldn't answer.
Something only Venray can answer.
Oh no. I can picture that conversation now. You told them it meant what? Yes, so Remus leaves and goes out the back door, leaving you guys alone with a very... She's not quite as flustered as he is, Calliope. That, or she's just holding it together better.
Sorry, Calliope, he's just so easy to mess with.
I agree, but yeah, he is still my brother, so... yes, once Una gets back, then we can start talking about things. So yes, Una, you've been casting various
She's casting
cantrips?
all the cantrips outside right now.
Okay. 1, 2.
She cast. Wait, are you? Those 3 are the ones she's casting, but she's casting them multiple times.
Okay, very good.
Like she's never felt like she hasn't felt magic like this in this world. You told me, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so she's having a field day.
Yeah, very good. This won't end badly.
Yeah, no, especially with wild magic sorceress' background. What could possibly go wrong?
Jazzy, I need you to roll me a D100, please.
I love you, Jazzy.
Potted plant.
84 is good, right? High's good, better than low.
It's a number.
84 is a number.
84 is a great number.
What a number, Jazzy.
So, Jazzy, as you go outside, you see that there are a collection of lights all around the area that Una has cast. You see that you can hear things from the illusions, and a handful of items.
The illusions will be her parents' voices, like from memory she has now.
Okay. You hear a very stern woman and a very stern man. What are they saying?
That they miss her and Mad. Nice stuff, like just. She's imagining them missing them and stuff.
Oh, that's so much more depressing than I was expecting.
Do you know who you have?
I'm aware.
She hasn't had like real access to magic in forever, and she doesn't have memories. She living out her best life right now, or worst life, depending how you view it.
You know, it depends on how you view it. But yeah, so you get out there, Jazzy, and you hear a stern man and a stern woman talking about how much they miss Mab and Una, and how they're so excited for them to come home, things like that. And then, as you're hearing these things, you hear a loud crack as one of the mending spells that Una had been casting fails, and a large tree branch cracks off of one of the trees nearby.
There we go.
Hey Una, it's time for you to get your furless butt back in the... What in Davy Jones are you doing out here?
Oh yeah, you've never seen her cast this much magic before, by the way.
Yeah.
Huh? What's up, Jazzy?
What are you doing?
Magic here, it's natural. Like it feels so much easier to use than wherever we've been in your realm.
She visibly shivers at the thought of magic being natural. You need to be careful with this stuff. I mean, it doesn't always go well.
I mean, I know I've had accidents in the past, but it's different here.
What about that tree branch?
What? He completely did not notice because she's busy talking to her parents who are not really there.
Yep.
Oh no,
What
I'm not sure this is the best thing for you right now.
What's not?
I mean, who are you
it's my
talking
parents.
to?
Don't you hear them? It's my parents.
I mean, Una, no, it's a magic illusion. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, we can go look for them, but I just don't think this is the right way to do it.
Right. Wisdom save, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay. Rest in pepperoni.
Okay.
Such bad rolls.
Right?
Oh, these rolls, I wouldn't call these bad. I would call these wonderfully delightful.
Once again, wild sorceress. Nothing good is coming from this.
Well, especially considering you don't believe Jazzy when she says, "No, that's not your parents." No, those are absolutely your parents. Those, of course, are your parents. Like you won't hear
Those are my
anything.
parents. I have my memories back, and they're gonna come here, and they're gonna take me and Matt back home. And he sounds like he completely believes this. Like, completely believes this.
100%.
Una, that's great, but we have work we have to do first.
Yeah, of course. And Mom and Dad are gonna help us. And he looks like at the lights where he's pointing the lights where the voices are coming from, as if like they're right there.
Jazzy's having a very internal conflict of conscience right now. Because she's like, do I tell Una to get it the fuck together so we can get this shit done? Or do I try to be a bit softer about it?
Una's been tranced by her own magic. I don't know what to tell you. I failed the wisdom save. I'm sorry.
It's great. This is delightful.
Una, I'm going to do something, and I don't want you to hate me for this, okay? As she steps forward.
Uh-oh.
Una looks like he heard you, but it's still this, it's like the lights have her in a weird trance, I guess.
Yep.
Jazzy steps forward, places both hands on Una's shoulder for a minute. Una,
Snaps her neck.
I'm very sorry. And with her right hand, just hauls off and slaps Una across the face. You need to snap out of it.
Do I roll anything? Does it work? What happens?
Roll me another wisdom save, and Jazzy, give me a strength.
I feel like Jazzy thinks that this place is evil. She's just so paranoid.
That's exactly how she feels.
Yup.
Oh, damn.
Oh. Yeah, so Jazzy, you full on you hit Una with everything that you have. And Una, this snaps you out of this trance, and the lights all disappear and the illusions disappear. And Jazzy, this is when you realize that Una's eyes had been a different color as you watch them fade back to their normal color.
I want to stress that as soon as she's slapped Una, she's also grabbed her by the shoulders again so that she doesn't fall over or anything. And it's just kind of inches from her face staring into her eyes.
Aww. Jazzy cares.
As the light fades, you're gonna notice tears start to well up, and she's just gonna bury her face in your shoulder and just start crying.
There's that awkward moment where Jazzy's arms are just kind of hovering in the air, and then
I'm
slow.
I'm so sorry. I thought they were real. They were right here.
I understand. I do. But there's something about this place, and I need you to have your wits about you. We depend on each other.
Sniffle, sniffle, attempts to be brave, smile, and nod.
Aww.
Now, let me see your face. I think I hit you a little bit harder than I meant to.
Yeah.
You fell off. You hauled off.
She got a black eye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When her face was buried in Jazzy's shoulder, she's gonna shapeshift to make it look way worse than it actually is.
Well, Jazzy said slap, not fucking death.
Yeah, I didn't punch.
It's gonna look way worse. It's gonna be an imprint of her hand on her face. Una's gonna shapeshift it to look way worse than it actually is.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I needed that. Clearly. Let's go. We kept them all waiting long enough.
Yeah, maybe they have some kind of dessert with some sugar help?
Oh, that sounds lovely, actually.
Okay. Just, and
Una's gonna like, rub where the imprint on her face is, like very gingerly.
No hiding that one. And she kind of walks with Una in through the door. Doc, here.
Una, what happened? Are you okay?
Yes. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Your face.
You can tell she's been crying and everything too, like not hitting any of it.
Jazzy, what happened? Was Una attacked?
You could say that.
Well, what do you mean? Did you chase them off? Are there bodies in the forest? Suddenly, Doc like gets his quarterstaff ready.
I don't think we'll have to worry about it.
Was it the
and-
wolves?
Jazzy kind of
Yes,
keeps
the
her
wolves.
hands behind her back so that the paw can't be matched to the face print.
Doc is gonna insight check Jazzy.
Please do. Jazzy, would you like to roll a deception?
I would
Una's
love
also gonna turn her face towards Doc, and maybe make the mark look a little more embellished.
Okay.
I feel like that should give Doc advantage.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck with that
Well-
advantage.
Yeah, nope, Jazzy wins.
We tried.
Yeah, so, Doc, you absolutely believe Jazzy.
Okay.
And, yeah, you don't sense any deception at all.
I mean, I haven't really lied.
Exactly. Like you also. This is also one of those points where you're like, oh no, Jazzy wouldn't lie to me about something this important. Obviously, she must be telling the truth.
All right, Doc is gonna take Una and put his arm over her shoulder and say, "Come with me, Una. Let's take a look."
Thank you, Doc.
Jazzy kind of rubs her hand on her hip.
And then Doc is gonna say, "You know, you're lucky Jazzy was there. That could have been a lot worse."
Doc, you have no idea, he says, and she looks like really sad.
Oh.
Because technically she is really grateful Jazzy snapped her out of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, like, she's like, Doc, you have no idea.
It's okay. They can't hurt you anymore. Not while we're here.
Single
Yes.
tear falls down. Single tear falls down in his face because she knows they can hurt her technically if her magic gets out of hand. Single tear.
Yeah. Dramatic.
Jazzy kind of folds her arms and like rests on her elbows on the back of one of the chairs. Mav, we need whatever we need to do here. We need to do it quick. This place is not good to stay in.
Also, I punched Una, and I know that's your job.
She's thinking that, but she didn't say it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this place, Jazzy. We certainly haven't even come close to gathering the information we need before we can leave.
Una was just outside under some kind of spell, thinking they were talking to their parents. There was lights and magic little, like, voices and faces, and keep in mind, Jazzy's not good at explaining magic.
Yeah. Mab, give me an arcane check. Please. You have a pretty good idea that Jazzy is describing Una's magic, but this sounds like something way over the top, even for Una.
Over the top for Una, but I know that magic can backfire or not quite work right. So could I come to the conclusion on my own that if they're out there surging a bunch of magic, that something could have gone wrong?
Yeah, that would be something you could probably discern, especially because you would know that magic in this world, you guys have seen magic go haywire before, so it wouldn't be that strange, especially magic like Una's. That's not healing magic is the most stable that you guys have seen, and Una quite definitively does not have healing magic. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched for you to guess that this is very potentially Una's magic. You would have needed to see it to know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise you too much.
If my theory is correct, Una went outside and cast a bunch of spells. And then all these spells, this energy was compiling, and then something backfired on Una, and the spell went wrong. I don't think it's this place necessarily. I think because the gods are gone, everything's still haywire. So technically, Una did that to themselves.
Another reason why I don't magic. Look, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm sorry, but I had to smack her to snap him out of it.
Oh, that's fine. Whatever works.
It was pretty hard.
Honestly, they needed it. They're acting shit today.
Their face was pretty messed up.
You should have fucking been there, man. It was crazy. It was so bad.
And I'm kind of feeling bad about it.
Well, did you apologize?
I did before I did it.
Why don't you go get them something cold to put on their face, and that's really all you can do.
Promised them some dessert. Do we have? And looks to the hostess. We have dessert of some kind.
She's just kind of sitting there and has like the whole teary-eyed hands over her mouth, just. Oh.
Wait, did you know everything that just happened?
She heard everything.
Oh, Jesus.
Sugar woman, do we have it? Jazzy snaps.
She's just kind of like, yes, we do. Hang on, I'll go get you something. And just kind of gets up and just kind of like breezes over to the cooking area, which is in the same room as the dining room.
Once Doc's done packing Una up, Una's gonna sit with the kids again, like the young ones.
They very much enjoy spending time with you.
She's just gonna be with them and like feel like it's a kindred, like they both miss their parents kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she just feels like very like more comfortable sitting with them.
Well, and you would notice something with the kids is they don't seem to be as upset. Like they haven't, as you're talking to them, they told you that their parents are on a trip. They'll be home soon. It's been longer than normal, but they haven't really noticed that their parents are gone.
They went to get milk.
They did. Dad went to go out and get smokes.
Would Una be able to use minor illusion to make like their parents' voices out of appearance?
No, because you've never heard their parents' voices before.
Yes, I can. We haven't communicated with one of them, remember?
You've heard one of the voices.
Yes, would I be able to make that voice for them to make them smile or happy?
You can sure try.
She would ask the kids if they want to first. She would want to do it and accept them.
And they have kind of a very serious conversation with each other, and they just kind of like, well, one of the littlest ones, well, it would be nice to hear Daddy say I love you again and maybe read a bedtime story. We haven't had a bedtime story in and this like starts counting out in a lot of years. And mommy and daddy aren't normally gone this song, but it would be nice to have a bedtime story.
Which one was the one I met, mom or dad?
You met one of the dads, technically.
Okay, so Una would use minor illusion for that voice to tell them that they love them and everything's gonna be okay.
And the kids are all happy, and it's like, yay! And it's all sweet and adorable and vomit-inducing.
Yeah,
Do it
that's
again.
the point. That be the point.
Yup. And so, yes, so Calliope has collected, like, it's kind of a shortbread-esque thing, not shortbread, shortcake-esque thing, because it's kind of, it's berries, it's macerated berries, and this, like, sponge cake kind of thing with whipped cream. And she's just kind of like, I'm sorry, this is all I had when we lived. I'm sorry.
That'll work. She snatches it.
I guess Calliope just kind of
Jazzy.
100% not paying any attention. Just
kinda-
very, very weepy.
Jazzy just kind of speed walks to where Una is.
Una's gonna thankfully take it and share some with the kids and snack on it with them. While she waits, like, your brother will be back soon to have this conversation with us.
The kids are like, yeah, Remus left because the bunny lady was they were all embarrassed, and I think they were doing what sister said, flirting, but I don't know. Big brother, he doesn't flirt with a lot of people, but he liked the bunny lady apparently. One of them was singing some song, and it was super naughty, and it was an adult song.
Not a bunny!
That would be my sister. She just can't. My sibling, they just can't control themselves sometimes.
Are you related to the bunny lady?
No. I meant the one singing the song.
Oh.
Still not a bunny!
So, are the kids going to bed when we have the talker now?
Yeah, the kids they're heading off to bed. You know, they nibble on the berries and all that kind of stuff, and
I would offer the older sister. I can put them to bed if you'd like. We'll get everything ready quickly.
And at that point, Remus comes back in, and he just kind of looks at Calliope, and they share a look, and he's just, I'll do it. And he just, without saying anything else, just walks off to put the kids to bed.
I glare, but I allow it.
You allow him to take care of his siblings.
I allow it.
You allow him to care for his younger siblings.
Yep, I said what I did. I fucking stutter.
I'm just making sure that's the hill you want to die on.
Oh, that is the hill I want to die on. I allow it.
They said what they said.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a list, not a stutter. I said what I fucking said.
Well, also, do we want to take a little bit of a biological break? Because we've been going for 2.5 hours.
Guess.
I'm cool with whatever.
We take all the
Whatever you guys decide.
Yeah, let's take a little break, get some refreshments, get some snacks. And yes, we are plotting to traumatize the children, don't worry.
What?
I was trying to cheer them up, okay?
I know. But don't worry.
That's why I asked before he did it. I just dropped their dad's fucking voice on them like a yes.
Hi, children. It's nice to hear from you again. I'm your father. I'm dead. Ah!
I mean, yeah, sounds about right.
Oh, traumatized.
Every time I said I loved you, I was making it up.
No!
Them funny words.
Don't give them that severe of daddy issues. Remus is already struggling with it.
Well, if it makes Remus's life harder, I might have to.
Be nice to the teenager.
Yeah.
All right.
I allow him to put his siblings to bed.
Allow him to care for his
I allow.
siblings. You allow it.
Is what now? Like 300-year-old child?
Yeah, his like
child brother.
3-century-year-old siblings that haven't aged past 6 years old because magic is fucked.
He's not even that much older than us. He acts like he's so much older than us.
He's like 600 years old.
Me and Mab are like 100 or something.
He's 6 times your age.
It's
You may
honestly a little offensive that Remus didn't say thank you for the privilege of putting his kids to bed.
Yeah, like fuck.
Yeah,
me.
right? Yeah. How
Or his
dare
kid
he
siblings,
not?
I mean.
How dare he not thank this random stranger who has known them for 2 hours for the privilege of tending for his younger siblings? Ah, the lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
I'm just saying his younger siblings clearly like me more than him already. I'm just saying.
I mean, considering they want to keep you as a pet.
I have not ruled out the option of allowing this.
Remus has.
The scene in my head is like them walking away and saying, "I'm leaving now," and then the other person saying, "You're dismissed."
Yep. Fate has not completely ruled out staying as their pet.
Una desperately trying to maintain control of the situation. You have my permission to go do this, Remus, entirely unfussed. Uh-huh. You keep telling yourself that.
I'm their pet. I can sleep at the foot of the bed.
Anyway, back to traumatizing the children. Yes, so Remus is off in the other room and tending for his siblings, and Calliope is sitting there just kind of fiddling with her hands as she just kind of, what would you like to know first? And I will do my best to answer the questions.
Paige is just sitting in the corner, like by herself and listening. I said Phage, Una.
You've been saying Phage.
I don't know why. Sorry.
So yes, are there any specific questions I can try to answer for you? Anything you want to know?
Do you have any idea where your parents might be?
Well, if I had to guess, and this is my best guess, they're most likely in the Northern King's castle.
Una nods and says, "Yep, saw him there."
And Calliope snaps her head over to you. You saw them? How did you see them?
I prayed to them.
You were able to connect? Where did you go? How were you able to connect? No one's been able to connect to them for years. How did you do it?
How do you think I knew what your dad's voice sounded like when I did it for the kids?
You replicated my father's voice for my siblings?
Uh-huh.
Why would you do that?
Because they asked me to?
Did they ask you to, or did you offer to?
Yes. They said they missed them, telling them that they love them.
And you see her just kind of like, all right, if that's all you did, that's fine.
It was not far from here, or not far from the outpost village.
Your father gave me a choice, and I chose to find out where they were. He said my memories are their location, and I chose to see their location, and they showed me the castle and the dark and the spot where they're at.
And when you mention, like, the dark, she just kind of shudders. Like, yes, I suppose he would have them there. In the castle, there is a dungeon. Deep underground, cut off from light, from fresh air, from sound, from anything. And I don't know how, but he managed to convince our parents, one by one, to go there, to his castle, and then they never came back.
Una's gonna shudder as you describe that place because it really freaked her out the first time, and like Una's shuddering just reliving being like in there.
Yeah, you would have flashes of just the absolute suffocating claustrophobia that you'd felt.
Yeah, you're gonna see like Una visibly wince.
We don't know how he managed to convince them to go, but we know that he did, and I have my suspicions, but never been able to prove anything. I suspect it's retribution for not being able to save his wife or bring her back from the dead. These are only guesses.
Oh, God, yeah, I wonder why someone would be not inclined to help this guy.
From what I know, he was originally a fair and just king of a much smaller kingdom, even further to the north. But his wife became very ill, and he prayed to my parents for assistance, and they weren't able to help. They can't fix illness. They're not flawless beings. They never have been. Those were stories that were told, and as time went on, they didn't correct them.
Yeah, people have a way of projecting their god as being perfect and immaculate sometimes, so...
My parents never claimed those things, never claimed themselves to be perfect, omniscient, magical beings, and when the king realized that they couldn't heal his wife, he refused to accept it, stating it as they wouldn't heal his wife, despite the fact that had they been able to, my parents would have in a heartbeat. My mother especially hated seeing anyone suffer.
I can relate.
And so now, we are trying to find them, and when we felt someone connecting with the energy of my father Venri, it was as if it was them coming to us to say, it's time again. And then it was you four, appearing seemingly out of nowhere to connect us to our parents in an impossible light.
Something guided Una to the place where we were able to commune with Venri.
Well, if anyone would be more active, it would be my father Venri. Hated sitting on the sidelines trying to just passively make things better. Do you have anything that led you to it? Do you have any objects or items that you may have been able to connect through?
Una, what is it that led you there again?
DM, what was it that led him to there again?
It was a napkin that Orion had drawn the sigil of Venri on.
Una's gonna hand it to you.
Calliope takes it, and you notice that her eyes flash almost blinding white for a moment. And then the sigil on the napkin begins to glow. And it lifts off of the page to hover in the air in between her hands as if she's holding it up. And you see her as if she's quietly talking to herself. She mutters something that none of you can quite hear, in a language that none of you can quite understand. And the light flashes again, blindingly bright. And the sigil has now burned itself into the table. And you see her sitting there, kind of slumped down, head on her arms. She's still awake, but you can tell that took a lot out of her.
Are
you okay?
Very tired. It's been quite a time since I've had to do that. I've unlocked the cell door from my father Venri. If you can get to the castle, if you can get to the dungeon, his door will be unlocked and he can help you get the other two out.
How did you do that?
I am the child of Venri. I am divinely connected to him, and I am able to tap into a small fragment of his power, and I was essentially able to overload the lock mechanism from the inside, and I melted it.
How are we gonna get there? It's so far away.
Go to North from our cabin, take the horse. From our cabin, you'll be able to get there within 2 hours.
Finally, a bit of direction. Oh, it's good enough for me.
Jazzy couldn't be happier to leave.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Will your family watch over my brother while we're gone?
Oh,
Yes, that's the one that was stabbed in the shoulder, right?
Yes, Orion, the one who drew the sigil so we could find your parents.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for him, we would have never found them.
I'll make sure that he's cared for. I'll make sure he doesn't die.
We'll secure the grounds before we leave. Una was attacked while we were inside here.
Really?
Una blushes.
Do you know what you were attacked by?
oh, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter.
No, Jazzy, this is serious. The same people could come back for Calliope when she's weak, and then the others too.
I don't think they'll be back for a while.
It would be very good for us to know.
Don't bother, you're being too nice. Doc, it was myself. My magic backfired on myself.
And gave you a handprint on your face?
Kind of, yeah.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Inside check.
Una, are you gonna... That's a history doc.
That.
Una, do you want to try the deception, or...
Yeah. Yep.
Damn it!
Oh!
Casual.
Yeah, like...
Doc sighs and says, well, you need to be careful.
It was of my... Well, yeah, because, like, the way she looked at it was of her own doing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then why did Jazzy say there were bodies in the forest? Or you could say that.
I never said that.
It was...
Doc scratches his head.
I conjured what I thought were my parents.
Oh. And then you slapped yourself.
Yeah. To break out of the trance, essentially.
I see. Well, I'm glad you're out of it.
Oh, by the 7 C's, I did it. I hit him across the face.
You what?
You heard me. I smacked him.
Why didn't you just say that the first time?
Because it doesn't matter.
I'm dead. Oh, so good.
What is it with people being so dishonest with me lately? I don't know what I did to deserve this.
Pirate.
You are a pirate, this is true.
You are a pirate.
First, we can't get the captain's name. Nobody wants to tell me what kobold kake is. My own party members are lying to me about wolves and smacking each other, but at least we're all together.
I almost forgot about the wolves. Stares at map.
It still was my fault, Doc. So, I wasn't technically lying. They just tried to get me out of the trance.
Oh, I'm not mad. I'm just making sure I'm up to date on everything.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yep, that's what I was waiting for.
The new slogan of the party has to be, I'm not mad, I'm just mab.
Terrible.
I just expected a little more. That's all.
Yes,
But I love you all equally.
Well, to be fair, that's what most people who bed Remus must feel like. They expected a little bit more, but it is what it is.
I wouldn't change you guys for anybody else. I just needed a moment. That's all.
Shall we?
Yes, let us go.
To the cops.
Finally.
All right.
So yeah, you guys head out, and the cart is it's sitting there. The horse is already reined to it. Everything is ready to go. And as everything is ready to go, you see the shape of Remus just kind of disappear back around the corner of the house. Catch me outside, how about that?
Una will flip Remus off as they're leaving.
He doesn't see. You flip
Jazzy
off his
wags her
back.
tail.
Can I use my knowledge and have a go fuck yourself from us?
Roll me a D100.
Worth it. Worth it. D100.
Mm-hmm.
95. Let's go. That's good, right? 95 is a good.
Roll
one.
me a D4.
Oh god.
That echoes in your own ears.
Killed him.
You have just told yourself to go fuck yourself.
Showed him. No Rugrats. Zero Rugrats.
Zero
I watched
Rugrats
lots
given.
of Rugrats.
I mean, valid.
I mean, Una's been hanging out with a whole bunch of Rugrats.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Now she gotta go save their dad.
But yes, so the cart is hitched, and you guys are able to get off pretty quickly. Even as you climb into the cart, it seems like the horse knows where to go on his own.
Get off quickly. That sounds like something that no one that's ever been with Remus has done. I am done.
Bullshit. Don't believe that for a second. Also, both of you to know anything about his sex life.
We're just gonna shit on Remus. It's shit on Remus Day.
But yes, so as you walk through and as you leave the little cabin area, everything, you all feel that same sense of magic kind of fade. Una, you feel like your magic is a little more unstable. You can still feel it at your fingertips like you always could, but now it feels different. You'd never noticed before, but there's almost a crackling sensation.
Una is officially bummed out.
Doc, you kind of feel it too. Yours is a little different because you're a healer. So you feel more like, you know that feeling that when you like run your fingers through a stream and there's that little bit of pull?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that with your magic. You know it's there, you can feel it, but it kind of feels like part of it's pulling away.
Okay.
And Jazzy, you feel perfectly back to normal. You don't feel magic at all.
Thank the
That's the
seas.
way. Jesse likes it.
Doc smiles because he's happy he was able to reconnect closer to magic, even for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm. And as you
Peaceful feeling.
Yes. And as you ride up, even for this time of year, even with as cold as it's been, it seems to somehow keep getting colder.
You say getting
This-
colder?
Yes.
I hate this place. I
Every-
tried to play D&D to get out of reality, and yet somehow I ended up in fucking D&D Canada. This is bullshit.
I mean, that's what you get. What you get for living in Canada.
D&D Canada's will not stand. Chris, we're writing an angry letter.
Go ahead.
Right?
I don't know who did that, but yes.
Yeah, so if you don't want to be in D&D Canada, then you shouldn't be in IRL Canada, because then you wouldn't know how much you're suffering.
I mean, I don't know what they said is wrong.
I mean, I can start pulling out like all kinds of terrible things that I could compare this to as far as Canada goes, but you know.
Molly's pullout game is very good.
Molly, I was about to say, Molly got some strong pullout game. Don't fucking.
Hey, my pullout game is fantastic. But yeah, so the snowdrifts that you've been able to see as you're traveling are getting higher and higher and higher, but the cart never seems to have an issue. You seem to either plow straight through the snowdrifts, or you seem to stay on top of them. And slowly, you feel the cart kind of come to a stop. and you find yourselves on a snowy embankment on the sprawling grounds of a castle seemingly frozen. Everything is white and gold trimmed with dark roofs. You can see pathways in the snow ahead of you, but everything here appears to be frozen. Snow up to your waist, ice hanging off of trees. No one around, no one in sight.
No guards outside the castle or anything?
No guards.
The fuck kind of castle is this?
Mm-hmm.
There is some fuckery afoot. Doc would like to do an Arcana check and see if there's any kind of magical wards or some kind of weird aura or weird presence.
Absolutely.
Aside from the prison holding the gods, of course.
Absolutely.
Balls.
So, Doc, you get the absolute feeling of foreboding. There is something in... Shut up. There is something in this castle, dark and menacing. You can almost see the menacing text coming up from the back of it.
Doc will look to the others and say, "This is not a good omen."
Doc, is this your four bonus sense again?
This is definitely close to it, but the bad kind.
Your for bonus sense has never been wrong before. We should be advanced with caution.
Agreed.
Jazzy, roll me a perception, please.
Oh boy.
This will also be a hearing-based perception if that affects anything for you.
It does.
Okay. So, as you guys start moving forward, Jazzy, you can hear an almost crystalline musical sound that no one else apparently can hear. And it's leading you into the castle.
Oh no.
Like, makes me want to go, or I just like, if I follow it, that's where it goes.
If you follow it, that's where it goes.
Okay, no, okay. You know, as odd as it seems to be, we should probably take the chance while we have it, because it's either a trap or we're extremely lucky, and I think we can handle either.
I think we can too, and I like the attitude.
Avast! And she starts making her way towards the castle.
So,
Avast! And we continue our slow walk.
as you continue to trudge through waist-high snow.
I mean, I can hop through the snow.
It takes so much more effort.
Not for a Heron gone.
Una will follow. This is some bullshit.
Jazzy's just like Inuyasha or Naruto jumping through the forest kind of thing.
Gosh, yeah.
I can jump 10 feet with a bonus action.
Yeah. Jazzy's got fucking image step from Bleach going on.
Well, at least Jazzy can scout ahead with the higher vantage point too. Every
Yeah.
so often.
Can Una attempt to like hover above the snow?
You can sure try. Give me a constitution check.
Okay, well, let's go fail that.
Ooh.
As
Show
a
me
caster,
ten
you should
dollars.
have some good cost.
No, I cannot.
It is so cold, your wings won't even open. So they are like tucked against your back now. They won't come untucked. It's so cold.
Doc, while he's shivering, says to the rest of the party, I can't confirm this, but I would be cautious about you potentially using magic in here. Just a weird feeling I have.
And as you say that, Doc, you all feel a whoosh of warm air as you approach the castle doors as they swing open to greet you.
Okay, none of this seems kosher. I'm just saying. There is literally no part about this that seems kosher.
And Jazzy, that musical sound that you had heard before is now much louder, and it sounds like the chime of bells.
Like the horse bells?
Kind of like the horse bells, but more grandiose.
But only Jazzy hears it.
Currently, only Jazzy hears it.
Quick,
Are we
this way.
just walking like this? This doesn't feel a little too convenient?
Yeah, upon the doors opening up, could Doc do another Arcana check?
Absolutely. That sense of foreboding has gotten worse. But you also can now feel the pull of Vemry deep in this castle.
They're certainly here. You know, I've got a bad feeling, but it's better than being out in the cold.
Yeah, I hear something this way.
Whatever it is, we can handle it.
And you guys head into the castle?
Una's gonna go to the castle, but she's gonna look for pictures or anything that would show them what someone in this castle would look like.
Okay. As the four of you enter the castle, the door shuts behind you.
Of course it does.
Of course. With a dull doom. And the temperature inside is much warmer. It feels not quite overwhelmingly hot, but it's just starting to get uncomfortable with how cold it was outside. This is just starting to get uncomfortably hot.
I hate this fucking realm. I miss the Fey realm.
Upon the temperature change, Doc is smiling that squinty smile like, much better.
It's like the crocodile with his nose poking out of the water. Yes!
Yeah, you're cold-blooded, eh?
I don't know about that, but I just figure that Doc's shell is probably still frozen solid, so the heat's not hitting him just yet.
Ah, fair.
And
yeah.
so
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. I was just gonna say, and as you come in to the castle, it appears to be deserted. You have seen no signs of life. There are suits of armor, there are statues, there's drapery, there's things accenting in the castle, but there are no people anywhere. You have heard no sounds of guards walking around, no sounds of people talking, no children laughing. You can barely hear your own footprints against the hard marble floors. Jazzy, you start to hear this bell sound further in, and it's almost irritating now because you can almost hear a dissonance in it. And it's agitating and it's frustrating because it's not quite a complete harmony, but it's not an appropriately broken harmony. And Doc and Una and Mab, you're all starting to hear it too. Just at the very edges of your hearing, you're hearing this bell sound. It's like someone playing some kind of chimes, but it's dissonant. There's no... You hear down from one of the hallways a single resounding polo.
And with that, Doc's sense of foreboding lifts slightly, and he feels a little more uplifted. And he giggles to himself and say, "Coming!"
At least they're a fun bad guy.
That's something that girls that are with roommates don't say.
Okay.
thought we were done.
Oh, we're never done.
Well, apparently Remus's girlfriends never are. Or boyfriends.
With that, I shapeshift into, Una shapeshifts into Jeff Frost and says, "The roast of Remus will be back after these messages," and then comes back into Una.
Oh my god. So as you follow this voice, this harmony that you've been hearing is distinctly in three parts, and Doc, you feel part of you is being pulled as you walk through past chambers. You see there's a doorway, an almost out of place looking doorway, and you feel drawn to it as you walk by.
Doc is gonna whisper behind him, I think this is where they're being kept. At least Femry.
Do we see if the door's open?
You can check.
I would
Doc would like to check
apparently
for
the door
magic
was-
traps.
The door was supposed to be open, wasn't it?
So
Unlocked.
yeah, unlocked.
Alright, so we check the lock.
Okay. You said somebody said they wanted to check for traps.
Yeah, magic traps.
Give me an Arcana.
Can I assist?
Go for it.
I'm gonna assist. I help.
Advantage.
Advantage, please.
I appreciate it. I rolled a 15.
Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Yes. So you are able to detect no magical traps. It appears as if this door was just it's unlocked. And it almost, if you hadn't known to look for something, you almost would have thought it was just a weird spot for a weird door. But when you touch it, Doc, you feel Vemry's magic.
Can I look at the
Okay.
lock and see if like the lock looks like what she said she did to it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so
You need investigation.
Can I help?
20 if the help goes through with advantage.
This lock does not appear to have any kind of damage on it. This lock it almost appears to have been casually left unlocked, but not damaged in any way.
Una's
Think it checks out, Una?
gonna shoot a look to Doc before opening the door slowly.
As you start to open the door, you hear the voice booming again. Are you going to open doors in my house without even greeting your host?
No, sorry, I hadn't called Marco in a while. I thought this was the way. My apologies. As we're still opening the door. We'll be right there.
Do you want to try to roll deception?
Still open. Oh
Sure.
yeah. Wait, can I roll it and you help
Yeah,
me?
let
I'll roll
do
it.
it.
You help me. Una's like, we're on our way. We thought this is the way. 29. No one lies like Una lies.
Funny lies like Una lies.
Una lies.
Yeah, so you hear the voice sigh very heavily before just, don't delay too long. I don't know how much longer we have.
Oh, I understand. Our muscles and bones are still warming up. You know, it's
Are we-
devilishly cold outside.
Of course, it's such a big castle you have here. We don't know if we're going the right way even, you know? As they go through this door.
It's a beautiful castle, though.
I would have thought there would have been some kind of confrontation, but no.
You what?
I would have thought there would have been some kind of confrontation with your big bad, but no.
We just open this door. Does anything happen when we open the door and go through it?
We're buying time.
Oh, we're gonna have the big bad. We're gonna have a god on our side when we see his ass.
Stalling. You think I'm stalling?
Us?
No, we're stalling.
That's the joke.
Oh, yeah.
It's from the SpongeBob movie.
So do we see anything when we open this door?
It is dark. Very, very dark. But there are, just down the steps, there are a few torches, and the torches glow with a magical light.
Do we see anything? Do we see the guy?
You see steps with magical torches.
Una's gonna start running down the steps.
Doc is gonna say just over his shoulder, are you down here, Marco? As he's descending the stairs.
You hear behind you. I am in the throne room. Polo.
We're gonna keep running downstairs. Be like, so how do castles? Is the throne room at the basement or the top? As they continue to run.
Save, please.
What?
Give me a dexterity save.
Save.
Both of us?
Yes, because I can't. Is Jazzy running down the steps as well?
Well, I'm fucked. I just fell off a cliff, didn't I? Oh boy. And now we're free.
Hey, we're getting there faster.
Falling.
Is Jazzy running down the steps?
Jazzy, what are you doing while the comedy of errors is going on?
Jazzy has left the building. Alright, Doc, it's you and me. We got this, Doc.
So
I feel like I just tripped onto you and we were both on my stomach. I'm on my back. We're sliding down the stairs
I'm surfing
in
your...
my shell.
I went down first.
Can I surf your shell?
No.
You can certainly try.
No, you absolutely can't.
It's more like sledding.
Whee!
So who went down the stairs first?
Una, definitely Una.
Una did.
Okay, so Una, you get about 3 steps down and you trip over your own feet as you're attempting to continue the bluff of this person who's been talking to you.
Yep.
And you trip, which distracts Doc, who also trips, and you two slide down the stairs.
Yep.
Doc retreats into his shell.
Part of our plan to get there faster.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch this.
Yeah, Jazzy, you see them open this door and start to go down, and then just... Una, you take 2 points of damage. Doc, you take none.
Una brushes herself off and looks around for the god.
Watch that first step.
Doc comes back out of his shell and tries to get back up. Una, can you give me a little?
Yeah.
Una, can you give me a little push?
I think we found the throne. This has to be the throne room, right? As she looks around for anything.
Doc's still on his back. Oh, Una, please.
Yes. He helps you up, of course. But of course, we have to get you up and so we can bow at the throne here.
I dust myself off.
Another deception check.
With advantage, with Doc helping me again.
Is Doc helping you again?
Doc.
Yeah, because we're going back and forth with the quips.
25. No one lies like Una lies.
Please,
He
let's go.
believes you again.
He what?
Let's go. What does he say though?
You hear the voice, and he's just asking, "Are you sure you're on your way? I don't remember installing stairs towards my throne room. Are you sure you didn't get lost?"
I know, we're pretty sure this is the way. Don't worry, love. We will be with you in a moment.
Doc says,
we cannot wait to meet the great king.
Doc says a little loud on purpose. Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Doc says a little loud on purpose. I told you this wasn't the way, Una. Now we're lost.
No. I'm pretty sure this is the way. Do we see anything?
I can send you an escort if you'd like.
No. We want to take in your castle as well. Don't worry, we'll be there momentarily, love.
Please roll me an investigation.
I'll also be helping.
Yep, Doc.
Oh, God.
22.
So, you see, in front of you, Una, in the low light of these torches, you see 3 small metal containers.
Uh-huh.
They're about 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. completely solid metal, no openings, no nothing. One of them has a melted lock.
I'm opening that lock.
And as you do so, Doc, you are filled with a rush of energy and also great sadness and fury.
Oh shit.
Fury. Okay.
The anger of Doc.
Oh, this is not the
Who are you
anger of,
talking to?
this is not the anger of Doc.
Oh no. Well,
This is Vemry's rage.
I've opened Vemry. Did I free Vemry?
I
And
told you all not to open boxes without checking them first.
Have you made your way down the stairs now, Jazzy?
One step at a time while they're messing around.
After watching the attempted shell surfing?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be up there momentarily. I think we found the way to your room as I open the lock and everything.
As you do that, a creature with long limbs crawls its way out and stares at you all with pallid white skin, white hair, white eyes, and an almost skeletally emaciated form.
Quick, kill it with fire!
No, Jazzy.
What?
Please tell me you're a friend's dad.
Vemry, is that you?
And as the head swings over to look at you, Doc, and you see through Vemry's eyes, you are a glowing spot of magic. Una is an erratic ball of magic. Jazzy is almost imperceptible because she doesn't have any innate magic as far as I'm aware. Unless I'm wrong.
Well, except for the gem around her neck.
Well, yeah, you have like magical items, but you yourself aren't specifically like you're not a sorcerer, you're not a cleric, you don't
Correct.
have that innate magic. So
Nope, nothing innate.
Jazzy's friendship is the magic that keeps us together.
Jazzy's magic.
Jazzy was the friends we made along the way.
As black as her cold, dead heart.
And so you see him lock eyes with you, Doc, and you hear this voice in your mind that you have heard so many times before, filled with a burning hot rage and sorrow and pain. As
Doc,
this voice just asks, "Are we free?"
Doc is almost brought to his knees and he says, I'm so sorry.
Your two mates that and I point to the two cases. Can you open it for them?
As you say that, you don't even finish the sentence before this blast of magic hits the two containers and they explode open.
Yeah, them. Yeah, can you do that?
And out crawls another male-looking figure, but black as night, with hair black as pitch, eyes the same black that you had seen on Remus.
Oh god. Oh god. Which was the one that I communicated with, Vemry, right?
Emery, yes.
Yeah.
Phage, Una's gonna like bow to Emery, and then I told you I would save you.
And it kind of looks over at you and just kind of very gently reaches out and just pats your head. But doesn't say anything to you. They just kind of pat your head, and you watch as when the third box is opened, the two others reach in and pull out a woman, a frail-looking woman who has red hair and red eyes and skin almost as white as Vemry's. And she's much smaller than the other two. The two male-looking figures were about 7 feet tall. This one is only about 5 feet tall.
Would you lot care to come with us? We're gonna go introduce ourselves to the king. I'm sure you three would have words with him now.
As
might
you
be too
say
weak.
that, as you say that, Doc, you are once again filled with the burning rage of 1,000 suns.
That's my Doc.
Is this like so potent to the point where like Doc is angry and
You
it's like
can't.
being channeled through him?
Yes, Doc, you can't tell if this is your anger or Vemry's anger.
Okay, is there a roll we can do to see if it's like overwhelming Doc to the point where like he's pissed and angry? Because normally he would try to like disassociate and be
Right.
a little calm, but is this to the point where it's like he's almost losing control?
Give me a wisdom save.
My man.
You are able to recognize that this is not your anger. This is Vemry's anger channeling through you, but you're still able to control your own reactions.
Okay. Can Doc sense whether Vemry is too weak to confront the king with us?
You can tell that these three deities are extraordinarily weak, but that their power is slowly coming back. It would be best if they either were stronger when they confronted, or if they weren't there. You're not sure which would be better. They're not strong enough to like destroy the king or kill the king or anything like that, but it's definitely one of those, they have enough strength to get out of the castle, and that's about it.
Okay.
Get them out of the castle.
We probably should. What do we do about the king? Do we confront them? Do we buy time? Do we just...
We buy time for them to get out.
And then what? Jazzy, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Don't know. There's just so many choices, and this is not really my specialty.
Jazzy, saving people as you prove to Doc is your specialty.
Jazzy, what is your heart telling you?
Oh, I'm gonna regret this later. Let's save him.
We gotta get him out of here.
Okay. I'll do my best to buy more time. And then with that, Doc also once again says, Marco, a little louder so it sounds like we're getting a little bit closer to the throne room.
Okay. You hear the voice call out to you again, and it's much more grumpy at this point, impatient, and you feel the carpet under your feet shifting. I'm sorry, not carpet. There's no carpet in this. The marble tiles under your feet shifting as you're pulled forward.
Okay, we're on our way. I look to the gods and I ask them, like, can you guys get out of here while we go confront the king?
And Vemry just kind of looks at Doc and just kind of nods, and you see Vemry helping the other two up and out.
Go.
And then as they leave, Doc is gonna say, I know you'll help us in any way you can, but try to get away from here as fast as you can.
Una says, alright, I'm totally lost. Can you just tell me where to go now?
Well, as Doc has the last word with Vemry, he reaches out, puts a hand on your shell, Doc, and you feel entirely infused with magic. You haven't felt this way since before the gods disappeared.
I feel young again.
You feel like your magic is more stable than it ever was before. This is back, you're back in your prime. Like,
Stable magic, what's that like?
yeah, exactly. Una, you have no idea what this feels like. But Doc, you feel like you could cast just about any spell that you know easily and flawlessly with no fear.
Doc has the sweetest, most serene, peaceful look, as if he had just smoked from the peach tree and all is well, and he feels at peace knowing he saved him and magic is back for him, and he's just overwhelmed. It was a roller coaster of emotions going from like pain and sorrow to feeling balanced again.
Una's
And then-
gonna motion to Jazzy to start running down the hall towards the king.
well, you feel the tiles underneath you as they're pulling you forward.
Oh yeah, like Una's running with them.
Doc is like dancing while he's walking. He's like
Una wants to get there
moonwalking, like ba
fast,
ba
so, like
ba.
track them in person so that the gods can escape. It's like Una's being like really loud and annoying as she's going there too. She's like, are you sure you know what you're doing? This is taking bloody forever. I really question your ability as a house.
As you say that, the tiles speed up.
My goodness, really? Really? Would it kill you to show some actual hospitality and meet your guests?
Doc starts singing, making my way downtown to the throne, gonna greet the bad king. Do 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 do. My name is Doc 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 Doc.
You know, I'm really starting to doubt your nobility, I'm not gonna lie. Most nobles have a shred of manners.
You guys are trying to piss him off. I like it.
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
no,
yeah.
Una's going far, and Una's gonna actually mimic his voice at him when she's doing it too.
Very
Because she
good.
heard it now, so she can mimic it. But I'm a pompous douchebag who can't actually meet the people at the door while I talk like a condescending prick. La 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 la.
Wonderful. Yes, so after just a few minutes, you guys are aggressively hauled into the throne room.
Hello.
And you see a man sitting on a polished ivory throne who is wizened and ancient. And he sits there on the throne. And he looks at you and he says, "Are you the ones I sent for the quest?"
Oh yes, love, that would be us. Hello.
Have you brought to me the information?
Of course we have. And you'll be happy to know everyone agrees with us on the information we have found.
Do the people still worship the gods?
Well, actually, what we found out was that everyone down south thinks you're an absolute bloody tosser, mate. Like, I mean, you should see some of the drawings they have.
Well, people do miss the gods, and
But like, they refer to you as King Wankenstein.
there have been rumors that, it could be you, and it seems like it actually is you.
I actually heard one of the peasants say that you're the reason that more people should try anal. And that, you probably should have been swallowed. Again, Una's going out of her way to be the most rude, obnoxious, yeah. She's trying to scar this man. I've even heard that Remus is more popular than you.
Oh, as you say that, a look of anger flashes across his face as he starts to stand up. Ah, yes. The bastard whelps of the false idols.
You talking to me?
You are not worthy to even be given that title. No, I want to know that I have crushed the worship of those foolish gods.
Mate, you sit here in a giant castle overcompensating with your small, impotent... I understand, you're old, you can't get a little blue pill to get up anymore, and you're upset, but you can't be taking it out on everyone like this, mate. You just can't do that. Impotent, it comes with age.
Why can't I take everything from them when they took everything from me?
Yeah, I'd rather die
tragically in my arm.
Talking. Can you do it? Can I catch whatever your wife got so I don't hear you talk anymore?
What happened?
She probably got a fucking look at this mate's face when she woke up once. I'd die too. Shame if I had to walk around saying that's my bloody husband.
Una, I need you to roll me a wisdom save.
Una's just going off on this poor bastard.
Yeah.
22. How did I do?
Unfortunately not high enough. Your tongue is now frozen. You cannot speak.
I'd say I didn't see that coming.
Una's just gonna look like a female version of him. Una's gonna shapeshift into a female version of him, then pretend to be dead with her tongue out. Be like, "Nah."
There you go.
Jesus.
A plague swept my kingdom. It took my wife, it took my 3 children, and left me alive. I prayed to the gods, devoutly, every day, every hour, to spare me, to take me, or to give them back to me. And my prayers were answered. But they told me they have no power to do that. What is a god if they cannot bring this one simple task to head?
When he says that, the you cast minor illusion and just make a laugh track. You feel like laughing and clapping when he describes what happened to his family, and then pointing.
I would suggest you still that one before I do it for you.
Doc's eyes flash white, and then his voice deepens, and he says, "What is a king to a god?" And then he snaps back out of it and says, yes, yeah, he, oh, you know Una." Good old Una.
And from now on, whenever he talks, whenever he starts to talk about like his family, you just hear like a baby crying. Like Una's going off.
Don't even know what to say.
Y'all want to see Trickster Una in action? You got it.
Doc is gonna say, I truly sympathize, but how is any of this going to help? What did you think kidnapping the gods would do?
I'd hoped to prove to this world that the gods were nothing. Truly nothing.
But according to you, they were nothing because they couldn't save your wife, so what did going that extra mile accomplish?
I had to prove it. All of the others around me claimed that I was delusional, that I was mad, that I was insane, I'd lost my mind. I had to prove to them all that the gods didn't care. I had to prove to them that their foolish gods were nothing. And I was right.
Una points to her mouth for a second and like asks him to like undo it for a second.
If you do not make that one stop, I will shove my blade through their throat.
Well,
Una's still pointing her mouth like she like really needs to tell you something.
Oh no, he is absolutely not going to.
Una writes on a piece of paper, "Man, it must really suck that they left the castle, huh?" And shows it to him. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, you are. You're about to fucking die.
Worth it.
What's your AC?
Not high. Fucking 10. Like.
Okay. How much HP do you have?
20. I saved a god. I don't give a fuck. Una could die a hero. They can sing legend songs about her. She saved her brother. She saved gods. Good.
So, Una,
Yep.
as you are shit-talking this god, a sword. You suddenly find yourself with a sword in your shoulder. And it really fucking hurts.
Deja vu.
Can Doc use a reaction to attempt to parry, or...
She shapeshifts into Orion when she has a sword in her shoulder.
Go for it if you want to try to parry it.
What would I do?
Give me dex. Nope.
No, that's a save.
Oh, that's a save. Give me dex check.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a lot
Yes. You are able to parry the sword. So instead of hitting Una in the shoulder, it hits them in the arm. You know, oftentimes how if you knock a sword out of the way instead of cutting off a head, it'll cut off a limb. You know, same kind of thing.
Yeah, he'll use his claws to, like, deflect the blade a little bit or change course.
And so Una, instead of being impaled in the shoulder, you now have a slice down your arm.
Okay, how much damage?
You take 6 points of damage.
That's, you know what, all things considered, not that bad.
I mean, I could make it worse.
No, I'm fine.
Doc is gonna say, you know, I can't say that I blame you, but I will also say you're deeply going to regret that, you son of a bitch.
Una just continues to laugh and say, you have no power. Your gods, you can do whatever you want to me. The gods are free, and you've lost. She writes it down because she can't speak, I guess, still, right?
Correct. Your tongue is still frozen.
Actually, no. She's minor illusion and doing it in his voice. She's saying it to him. She'd be like, this is the voice of someone who's truly won. And then, like, illusions that says, do whatever you want to me. The gods are free. You've lost. Oh, I'm a die. I'm a die. I'm about to be an only child real soon.
Okay. Well, we're doing it that way, apparently.
I will remember you. She gives props to her man Doc, by the way. Jazzy just watching this, I'm assuming Jazzy's like, well, this is interesting.
Okay. So the king kind of heaves himself up off the throne, and he kind of hobbles down towards you. An old man, a wizened, frail old man. He's an old, pathetic-looking man.
I could have told him that, but I muted.
And he comes over to you, Doc, and just kind of looks at you and just kind of, how would you know what I feel? You are not one that the gods have decided is unworthy.
It's not a matter of being worthy or unworthy. I can, whether you believe me or not, genuinely there was nothing they could do to save your wife. I'm sure they would have if they could. Why would they refuse? They do not wish to see suffering.
Because they are selfish. They are fools. They do not care for those of us here. Look at your little friend there. And he kind of gestures at Jazzy.
What about them?
If the gods are to love us all equally, why are we not all granted magic? You're a healer. Why was someone like you not sent to my wife? Why were they not given the power to save my wife?
Doc calls over to Jazzy. Jazzy, how do you feel about magic? Do you wish you had magic?
I don't need magic. I'm effective without magic. Lived all this long without
you
it.
had magic, Jazzy?
No.
See, that's my point. Everybody plays to their strengths and weaknesses. Do you see yourself as better than the gods?
Well, I mean, I can actually see myself.
No, Jazzy, not you. I was talking to the bad guy over here.
Oh, sorry.
I can see myself, says someone who saw 3 gods, but
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Jazzy, you also just saw them. What do you mean?
Is there really proof that they're gods yet?
Oh, Jazzy, we're gonna have a...
What is a king to a god? What is a god to a non-believer?
Yep.
Can I roll anything to be able to talk yet or no?
Go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
Can you put off trying to kill yourself for like 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Okay, yeah, he is distracted, so you are now able, you were able to free your tongue. You can now speak.
So like when she can speak, she says and looks and says, did you ever think that life's just not fair?
Life isn't fair.
Exactly.
I am the king. I rule. If life should be unfair for anyone, it should be unfair for those beneath me.
And
The gods should have recognized that.
Why are they beneath you? Because you were born into a title?
Correct. I was born superior.
Okay, but in that logic, the gods are superior to you, so why do they answer to you? By your very own logic, the gods should not care about you.
If you're superior to the gods, why didn't you save your wife?
Yeah, exactly. Like, by your logic, if the gods are superior to you, they shouldn't care. And
Doc
if you're
dabs.
superior to the
Doc
gods-
dabs.
And then if you're superior to the gods, then you should have fixed it.
You are making this man confront things he never thought about.
Doc is dabbing right now.
You sit there on a throne acting like you're better than everyone, but you can't even, like, deal with your own failures.
I didn't fail.
Really? Then why do you have to capture the gods?
To prove a point.
So
And
why would you hold beings that are inferior to you to a higher standard than yourself?
You guys are gonna make this man have a whole damn existential crisis. But
Redemption arc time for the bad king guy.
Oh no, no.
I won't allow it. I won't allow it.
This campaign, bitches.
We let Doc?
I did not make a swashbuckler not to swashbuckle.
I didn't make him an irredeemable bastard for him to be redeemed.
That's what you said about the innkeeper, damn it.
He had a tragic backstory that I was willing to let slide. I wasn't expecting him to be redeemed. This guy will not be redeemed. He would rather murder you all than confront these. And as such, he is going to now attempt to murder you. I'm not going to make anybody roll initiative because I'm not worried about that.
It's like, y'all sucking about to get wrecked.
No, not quite. Doc, what's your AC?
17.
Okay.
Doc don't fuck around.
I mean, he is the tank. So, you see him bring a sword up, a different sword than the one that stabbed Una. And you see it start to glow, Doc, with a familiar kind of whitish light.
Oh, he showed your god power putting the sword.
And he attempts to attack you with the magic of Vemry. He attempts to attack you with Vemry's vengeance. And it does not work.
So
As Doc dodges it, he takes a back step, his eyes flash white, and he says, "Your arms are too short to box with God, sucker."
Just
And-
channeling Vemry.
Una's gonna look at him and say, I told you, the gods are free. You have no more power here.
And he is going to throw his sword at you, Una. And he's gonna fucking miss.
Jazzy's gonna rush forward at that point.
All right. Yeah. So Una, he turns to you and goes to throw kind of like either like a long dagger or a really short sword at you. And as he goes to throw it, Jazzy, what are you doing? You gonna rush?
Jazzy rushes forward and does the whole your Rurouni Kenshin thing, drawing her sword as she is rushing forward.
Oh, very good.
And you know the best thing about being this character? I don't need advantage or anyone nearby in order to sneak attack.
Very good.
Get him. Ooh.
Very good.
Now, a couple things happens when I attack somebody.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is the first time we've actually seen you attack someone, yeah.
So, first of all, as I hit him, I can then immediately use a bonus action to disengage back 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but also I can use that attack to lower their speed by 10.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to attack him when he throws a sword at me. What do you think of me? I'm also going to cast a spell on him.
But you see, I don't even have to use disengage because
You
they're
will
not allowed to make an attack of opportunity until the beginning of my next turn.
Ooh.
So what you're saying is, get fucked, stay fucked.
Yeah, it's part of fancy footwork. So yeah, 19 damage. Jazzy steps back 10 feet and waits for the next move.
So did you stab? Did you slash?
Slash.
She slashed, yeah. Drawing with the right hand, slash from bottom, from her perspective, bottom left, upper right.
Okay. So you slash into his chest, and he staggers backwards as you move back 10 feet, and you see him bleeding profusely from this wound. Nice.
I'm gonna do it. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do things.
And you see his eyes flash red for a moment as he turns to Doc again. And in a darkly, like a twisted voice, you would dare to bring in such worthless filth to my castle? You who knows the power of magic. And you see him trying to heal himself, but it's not working.
Can I shoot him in the face now? Can I shoot him in the face?
Unless there's something Doc wants to do, go for it.
Doc, is he like really like just on the ground, really pathetic, not really able to do much kind of thing, or are we not there yet?
He's standing, kind of like hunched over, like trying to heal his chest. But it's not working.
How far is he away from me? Can Doc be like walking towards him to be in melee range?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's not going anywhere.
All right, Doc is going to do that, and then he's going to walk up to him and place his hands on the king's chest and say, "It just wasn't your time, and believe me, they really wish they could have helped you." And then he's going to cast a sacred flame.
Oh, and he fails. All right. What level are you casting at?
I'd be casting it at the highest level, so that would be level 2.
2, I believe. Yes.
He's gonna die before we get to cast a fucking spell. I want to respond when he threw the dagger at me.
Okay, so 1, 2. All right.
Oh, no, wait, that's just a cantrip.
Yeah, but you can
Am I
cast
level
it-
5 yet?
You can cast it at a higher level. Oh yeah, you can't cast it higher than yeah. You
Okay,
can't.
so then it's just 1d8 because we're level 4, right?
5.
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take the 5. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll just
Alright.
take the 5. It's the first one you roll. I'll take it. All right. So he is still standing, burnt and scorched and slashed to pieces, but still standing.
My turn.
Una.
So first, I'm gonna use some. This is gonna give me advantage on my next attack. I'm twinning my next spell. And I'm gonna point a finger at him and say this is for the gods and for their children. And I'm gonna scorching ray this motherfucker.
With a crit.
Damn.
And this is happening 6 times. Because I twin cast it, so oh, well, yeah.
Yes.
Fuck around and find out.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Alright, so the last one kind of sucks, but 12, 21, 31 plus 19, 50, 63 damage for my scorching rays.
Would you like to flourish your overkill?
She's literally just gonna be like, this is for the gods and their children, and then shoot 6, there were 6 kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so 6 holes in his chest, 1 for each child.
Jesus. He collapses into a heap in a burning, charred chunk of corpse.
Oh man, I'm excited to use the magic. Like, twin cast with scorching ray is gonna be so dirty when I do it.
Yes, so the king is dead. And
That's the children, let's go.
you all start to hear a groaning of stone.
Oh no, now what?
Do you ask that out loud?
That's the sound of a booby trap being sprung. We need to get out of here now. Quick, quick, fast, hop, hop. Let's go. Run, run, run.
Follow Gazzy.
All right.
We're not looting?
I pick up the crown.
We take the body quickly. We give it a quick once-over.
Oh no, I just pick up the crown and take off running.
I mean, honestly, the crown and the sword are probably the only important things on his corpse. So
I'll
Oh, he
grab the
threw the
sword.
sword.
I'll grab the sword, you grab the crown. Let's go.
there you go. All right. So as you guys run out, it's very dramatic, very Indiana Jones. Everything is collapsing around you, and you manage to get out the castle doors into a snow bluff just as everything collapses in on itself with a giant poof.
Can't say he didn't have it coming.
Jazzy just kind of plops into the snow on her back. Ah. And see? All of that done by ourselves with no help from anybody else or anything else.
Doc just sighs. Jazzy, battle for another day, Doc says to himself.
Una's gonna hug both of them and motion to them to let's go to the cart.
Is it still deathly cold outside?
No,
Oh,
it's
thank
not.
God.
It's cold, but it's kind of pleasant, almost. It's not super biting in the air. You can kind of see little puffs on your breath.
Let's go to the cart and see if the gods made it back to the children.
That is a
And-
good idea.
As you get over to the cart, you see that it's gone,
For fuck's sake.
but you see in its place what looks like a napkin with a symbol on it.
Those landlubbers left us here.
I'm gonna pick it up near the two of them.
Okay.
What?
As you pick it up, you are all whisked back to the house.
Oh, that was much more convenient than taking.
Before you can even say anything, as Jazzy is ranting about them being landlubbers who up and left you, you are all whisked back to the house, right by where the symbol had been burned into the table in the kitchen.
I like my older sister.
No, don't do that again.
Jazzy, life as you know it is about to change forever. And
I
also,
know.
don't say I didn't tell you so.
I got a crown.
And I got a sword. Now you can try to use the sword, Jazzy.
Sure. She puts the crown on her head.
She swings it really bad, like she has no idea what the fuck she's doing with this thing.
Jazzy ducks.
Doc tries to take it away from Una in the most harmless way, Una here, Una, I think you should, Una, I think,
Una puts it
as he's
away.
ducking under the sword back and forth.
Una puts it away. All right, I'll put it away for right now. Where are the kids? What was your older sister's name again?
Calliope.
Yeah, Calliope.
I call out for her.
A head pokes out of one of the bedrooms. You're not dead!
No, are your parents back?
Yes, they're currently resting, so we probably should be quiet. Shh. And she kind of slips out and shuts the door. I will be honest, we kind of figured you died.
He did try to slash my arm off. I'm not gonna lie. I show her the scar.
The scar? You mean this still open wound?
Yeah, that. I show her that. He did try to slash my arm off, but
Do you want to take a look at that, by the way?
oh yeah, that'd be lovely, mate. But yeah,
Doc
your
is gonna
parents-
give
your
Una
parents
medical
gave-
assistance.
Very good.
They gave Doc some extra power, and I did that thing I do where I talk a lot of shit to them, and it really pissed off the king.
Yeah, it did.
Was that the smartest idea?
Of course, he gave your parents time to escape the castle, and so he couldn't use the power against us.
Jazzy slams the crown down on the table. It worked.
Yes, it did. And we are so very appreciative of your help. I will be honest. I don't really have a reward for you, but we can think of something.
Jazzy picks the crown back up and like hugs it to her chest, like, you ain't taking this.
2 questions. Is my brother still okay?
I mean, you've been gone for only a few hours, so I would assume so.
And will your parents be able to restore my sister's memories
Probably.
at full strength?
Most assuredly.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, for me at least, that's as long as my brother's okay and my siblings' memories can be restored, I don't need much else for right now. Plus, I got the sword. I point at it.
Doc whispers to them, "Give it until tomorrow."
You notice that Calliope she takes a very pointed step back from you once you point out the sword.
What's wrong with this?
Nothing. It's fine. Just don't let my parents see it. Trauma.
Your
And all
parents
that.
don't know. I literally just risked my life to save their damn lives. I would never do anything to them.
I don't doubt that you wouldn't. But, trauma and all that. Just keep the sword over there, please.
Would your parents prefer they destroy it or something?
They would prefer to never be within any distance of it ever again.
Well, I'm assuming I'm not going to see your parents anytime soon after this now.
I can't say that for sure. Just please don't go anywhere near my parents with that sword.
Of course.
Thank you.
You know, I think I can make this into a girdle.
It'd be painful.
Are the young ones awake?
No, everyone except for myself and Remus are pretty much asleep. Remus is probably heading to bed soon now anyway, and I should probably follow him. It's been a hectic night, to say the least.
Oh, 2 questions. How do we get back, then, unless we're staying here?
I mean, you're more than welcome to stay here, but you can take the horse and cart, and then they'll make their way back on their own.
I mean, Doc, would you prefer staying here every night and, say goodbye to your gods in person in the morning?
A rest does sound good.
I'll camp outside because of the sword and all.
No, we can set you up in one of the rooms adjacent to the young one's rooms. It just may not be the most comfortable, but we can do what we can.
Yeah, well, I don't want your parents to worry if they think I would use the sword on either of you, the kids either.
Just
Don't
bury it outside in the snow or something.
Just don't let them know you have it, and take it with you when you leave.
Of course.
And what was your second question?
I don't bloody remember.
What's a kobold kake?
Yeah, what is a kobold kake?
Is a kobold kake? The deep philosophical question.
And why has my sibling been so quiet today?
Mab has been vibing with Remus when they haven't been with you in the castle.
Yeah, they have. Mab and Remus, let's go.
Is that the ship, Mab and Remus?
Apparently, Nemus. Nemus. I'm gonna minor illusion whatever room they're in, and you're just gonna hear smack that by Akon.
That is your sibling.
And Remus is with his parents.
Alright, fine. I just had sex by Lonely Island.
They need their sleep.
Very softly, not loud.
Lullaby version.
Yeah, that's the lullaby.
The mood.
Remus and Mab's ear.
I just had sex.
And it felt so good. Yep.
Remus is taking care of his parents.
He must
No!
be very confused to why that song is playing in his head.
That's
So confused.
That's what he gets for me allowing him to put the kids to sleep.
All right. do we want to call it there?
Uh,
You guys have successfully rescued Vemry, Ashiani, and Linwaldi of this world.
okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how out of like order did we do all that ending thing?
Which is the high end and which is the low end?
10 being the highest.
10 is
Like
You
we did
couldn't have
completely
done
out of
that-
order. We did that completely out of order, and you had to like rewrite everything or whatever.
8?
Let's go, Chris. Fuck
I
off,
had
man.
3 other maps prepped for you guys.
Well, we also missed a
Three
couple of
maps?
sessions, so.
Yeah, we missed a couple sessions, and I had to speed run it at one point. Because you guys are like, nope! We're gonna futz around in town for 6 hours.
Yeah, we are. But it was all worth it just for me to talk that much shit to the king. Wait, Chris, I admit it. You like the wham part.
A lot of it was pretty fucking toxic.
That's so toxic! You were making fun of his dead wife and children!
Yeah, like it got to the point where Doc was like, I don't know whose side I'm on anymore. This is kind of fucked up.
Bro, he kidnapped the gods' children's. He kidnapped the gods who would like let these kids alone. I don't even feel bad. Don't even, because he was like,
His wife and children were innocent!
yeah, okay, and don't take your shit out on just because you've been through issues doesn't give you the right to put everyone else through a bunch of issues. This dude ruined the world because he was mad that he didn't get special treatment.
Yes, and you take it out on him! You don't bring his innocent family into it!
Oh, it would have been so much worse if he didn't leave her. So much worse.
I'm calling it here. I'm gonna pass the torch back to Dumey so we can end this chaos. For the moment, anyway.
Well,
Success.
I don't know when or if we'll ever check in with this ragtag bunch, but for tonight, remember guys, there's 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours.
And
Have a
fuck
good night,
you.
guys. Have a good weekend, everyone.